Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 160 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. We are brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. Web design, SEO, Google Ads, graphic design, printing can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, which is bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can actually use the tool right there at the top of the page and request a free review of your online presence today. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a black belt training out of Coral Springs, BJJ in Coral Springs, Florida. We got Christian behind the camera. Hey guys.
Hi, Christian.
Howdy do? Hey. We got Bo over here. Bo's in house as well. Don't forget to like, comment, save, share. Click that subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. Once again, I should say, as always, we've got Coach Ben Stark joining us. Hi, everybody. Hey. Hi. And very excited to have two guests in the studio today. We've got Coach Josh? Is it Coach Josh Frye?
Yeah.
From he is the owner of the Grounds MMA in Bonita Springs, Florida, and he brought his brown belt, Brian Cathell. Cathell. Shit, I still fucked it up. He's a brown belt.
Brian Cathell.
Training at the Grounds as well. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for coming down, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, man.
Did you say you came down yesterday?
Yeah, came in last night to avoid the Alligator Alley traffic this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is that's I guess right, come down all the way down the West Coast, jump over?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're north of Naples, so we have to drive about an hour to get down to Naples and then across the alley. So about 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive.
Yeah, not
Not
bad.
bad.
You gotta go through like Yeehaw Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it not
Everglades.
depressing to see that old hotel is gone now? That
No.
spooky old thing on the
even
corner. It was this super old hotel from like kind of cowboy era.
Really?
It's been like dead for as long as I've lived in Florida, which was like 94.
Yeah.
But it was like this historic, haunted, like creepy hotel thing.
I'm getting like Psycho vibes, like
It was
Psycho
very
movie
cool.
vibes.
It was just a cool thing to drive by because it was like real historic Florida stuff.
Yeah.
And it looked like exactly what some of the stories were.
Really?
And then apparently some sleepy
Tell
trucker.
me a story.
I don't know them.
Oh, okay.
But I do know some sleepy trucker drove through the old hotel.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why it's
that's
gone.
gone. Oh, wow.
Now you got a fancy gas station.
What's that ride? How many hours?
2.5, 3 hours.
not too
yeah.
bad.
It's not too bad.
Not bad.
So if this goes well, now you know it only takes 2.5 hours to
Yeah,
get down.
yeah,
And you
for
come
sure,
down whenever
for
you
sure.
want, you know?
Yeah.
Then maybe we do the next one with Charlie. Charlie
Yeah.
was going to come on.
Charlie Vinch. Yeah.
Charlie Vinch was going to come on.
yeah.
Or what? Well, apparently he invited himself on.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
"Frog
like,
coming." Yeah.
Josh told me he wants me to come on, and
I was like, I don't
we're
remember
ratting
that.
him out.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I didn't tell him to come on.
He's a good dude, man.
But
I'm
Charlie
like,
Vinch-
Charlie, he could have just talked to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charlie Vinch. I already had him scheduled.
Yeah.
That's why I told him. I said, "Well, if you're going to come on, then let's push your date, or
Yeah.
let's move that date because it's like in 2 weeks he's coming on.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's a lot of Charlie for
gonna
1
see
month.
after this
you
show.
know?
It's a lot of charge.
It's
We're
like
stopping by. Yeah.
it's a Charlie Vinch March, you know. So I told him, well, you know, let's move it.
Yeah.
He was like, no, keep mine. Okay, no worries. He could have still come
He's
on.
special. I love Charlie. God bless him.
Real quick, tell him what you got going on over there, Ben.
Oh.
We talked about it last episode, and I told you, bring your stuff, man.
Yes,
Why aren't
sir.
you? I love
So-
what you did with the alligator.
Thank you. So I'm a cut man with the ICA, the International Cutman Association. I work for some of the bigger shows.
That's an actual thing?
Yeah.
Did you? Are you the only cut man?
No.
Just kidding.
I started it myself.
The International Hand Wrap Federation.
Stitch Duran started it. He's the president.
Okay, I know Stitch.
And it's just like, I guess I'm number 140. So I'm like one of the top 140 cutmen in the world.
Wow, look at you.
Who's 139?
So tell us what you got.
Someone from Poland. It's a lot of Europeans.
So you did this. Did you partner with somebody, or these are your
this is
original?
all me. So I was working so many shows and I was really active in the cutman scene. And gauze and tape are just stupid expensive. 50 rolls of gauze from Tidal cost over $60, and it's just gauze. And frankly, it's a moderate quality.
Okay.
So I went and kind of researched the high end guys because I want to produce like that, and then did the pricing, and I can still make a profit selling the highest end stuff for $1.25.
Okay.
Which some brands are selling, $2-3 a roll. So I was like, well, screw that. I'll just produce it for myself so at least I can work on a lower note. But then I have so many buddies who are cutmen and so many friends who are coaches and gym owners. Why are they getting robbed paying, more for lower quality than what I can move it for? So I just
Inflation is
figured, why
real.
not?
Hey, man, I respect the hustle, man. I'm glad that you brought it out. Anything else you want to tell us about it?
HammerJujitsuShop.com carries all my stuff. The fight wrap is up there now. The fight tape just finished production.
Pick up because we're not getting the alligator head in there.
Nice.
We got it.
Florida man.
Yeah. The tape just finished production, so hopefully I'll have it in the next 6 weeks or so.
Brian, write
and
this
then
down.
you'll have
Fight wrap.
everything
Got
we
it.
need.
Grounds gotta get it.
What are you gonna build a website? Do all that good stuff?
I'm trying to, because I already have a Shopify store. I don't want to have a second one.
Yeah.
If I can kind of split them into websites or just steer traffic from, like I own my domain, probably just send it to the store domain.
If you want if you want the website name to gain value or equity, you got to do two separate sites.
Yeah.
You get in the beginning, like put that on your Shopify site, see how it goes, point the domain at it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't build SEO equity. It won't. The website that it goes to has to say fight wraps and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Are you a marketeer or something? Or?
Oh, yeah. I dabble.
Can't tell.
Just touch.
I dabble. I mean, I could give you advice. I mean, you got, Shopify's awesome for e-commerce. It's, don't go anywhere else but that. But yeah, I'll give you some tips on, like, again, if you want to build, and part of building is that people can find it online.
Yes, sir.
They're not going to find, you're sending it to the Hammer Jiu-Jitsu stuff. It's not going to find that for the hand wrap. Like, it's not going to index well.
No, I understand.
So, okay. But yeah, man, very cool. So back to the guests. Back to the guys that drove 2.5 hours.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed listening to this. Carry on.
You only drove an hour. These guys drove 2.5 3 hours.
It's
true.
Yeah. Last night.
Appreciate my struggle.
One of the things, I get to thank you in person. You were the second fully accredited academy that went through the academysafe.org program. Super proud, thankful. I appreciate you so much for doing that. It was, you could tell them, how hard was it to go through the process? And you came on when we were beta testing still, so a few bugs here and there, but it wasn't, was it very difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. It's just that as a martial arts school owner, it's your obligation. I'm part of a big business group. I've been in a few masterminds, and we talk about liability and things that you do for your school to protect yourself as a business owner, but also protect your students. Yeah. And so for me, I was already doing these things. Yeah. And then when I saw some posts, because I'm a fan of the show, I was like, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. I love, because being in Southwest Florida, the things we've heard, things going wrong in gyms across the country. As a lifelong martial artist, man, it pisses me off. And so it's not right, I'm a school teacher, right? So I've been teaching for 25 years, and so we have expectations. We have to be certified every year.
Background check, right?
Background checks. You have to be.
Do they do it every year? Every single year?
Every single year. It's part of being a professional. And so with my insurance company, getting on the liability insurance, workers' compensation benefits, taking care of my team, all the things that we do, it's just a no-brainer to do. And I don't understand why it's not a standard out there in the martial industry, and why people are not screaming from the mountaintops, like, we need to fix this environment, and we need to set higher standards, and everybody needs to meet it, or you don't deserve to do what you do. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
I did a podcast this week. I'm going to have the woman on the show as well. I did her podcast first, and there's nobody that can argue with the 8 things that we're asking you to do. No. Because most of them you should have done already anyway. Yes. By the way, Ben's going through the process as well. Let's go, Ben. So hopefully we'll get him fully accredited soon. Yeah. But, background check, okay, not required in a lot of places, but smart, right? Yeah. The Safe Sport certification, born, a U.S. Center for Safe Sport, born out of what happened to the girls' gymnastics team, right? Born out of that doctor that was, doing what he did with those girls, right? Disgusting. Concussion course, jiu-jitsu, maybe not like everybody's like, oh, look, you got a boxing shirt on, right? Like you're doing striking. It's good to recognize. It's a 15-minute video and 10 minutes of questions. It was super easy. You went through the process, right? You went through it. You're one of his coaches went through it.
We were at UFC Tampa. Right before the fights, the last one in December, and we're in the hotel room in my room, all my team. And they were doing it on their phones. Yeah, all of us whipped out our phones. We're like, oh man, we just got an hour before we head to the event. Yeah. Well, let's just knock out the concussion course, and all of us just did it.
Yeah, it's super easy.
And it's good information, stuff you don't think about. It's short, but it's actually good.
The Safe Sports stuff is just like stuff that you should know, man. Yeah. When you go through it and you start seeing like them talking about grooming. The one that really resonated with me, because what happened at my old school was like more with adults. It was just like the grooming of the parents. A coach is grooming the parent. Like they're grooming them in that they make them believe that they would never harm their child. Like, coach so-and-so? No way. Yep. Like, but he has like befriended you, and maybe maybe you're his You're his student, right? And all these things start to happen, but it makes. I had never realized that was what was going on. Like in my school, it was more with it was an adult thing. It was adults to adults, so it was more morally wrong than anything illegal happening.
Isn't that what happened on the West Coast? The coach would become friends with the kid, with the family. They'd go on vacations together.
Yeah.
Their kids were
Yeah. I think that the girl might have been a babysitter for his kid. Like it's just it gets crazy. But that's the thing is like, oh, not this. He would never harm my child. So like recognizing that like, oh, like a creeper is going to creep. A creeper is going to figure out a way. I don't know if I said this on the show as it relates to the safe sports stuff. I was on the phone with the liaison from the Secret Service, the liaison for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We have a Secret Service agent on the board. He put me together with the liaison that works with them.
Awesome.
And we're trying to put together a webinar.
Yeah.
And they're going to speak. They're going to speak to our academies, our coaches, people that are thinking about doing what we're doing. And when at the end of that phone call, the video chat actually, it was just he and I, and he says, I go out and do these in person as well, not just a webinar. Mm-hmm. He says, I tell people that they have to understand that there is somebody out there right now planning to hurt your child. That's like, think about let that sit. You're a dad. You're a dad. Do you have any kids?
I do not have kids.
You have how many kids?
I have two kids, an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old.
I have adults, but even adult, right? They're girls. Mm-hmm. Let that sit for a second. If that doesn't make your stomach start to like curl a little bit, right? There's somebody out there that's just looking to either they know your kid and they want to figure out how they can hurt them, or they just want to find a kid.
And unlike some of those kids out there, my kid's cute.
That
said every dad everywhere.
That statement though. I've thought about that statement just about every day that I turn on my computer and I see Academy Safe and I start to think about it. I can't shake that.
It's infuriating.
It's true. It's great, but
Yeah.
that's what's happening. So if you're telling me that a background check won't make your academy a little bit safer, we can't stop somebody from doing something bad in the future. But if it's on everybody's radar, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there are talking about it. People are like, hey, I'm getting this stuff done on my own. How do I get involved? I'm like, just do it all through here. Believe me, it's going to be cheaper than you going to do it out there.
For sure.
It's been like, again, nobody can argue that any of these points. And then CPR, first aid, AED. I mean, this is all that may be a little bit like not in the norm for the average academy, but again, it should probably be a thing.
It should be normal though.
Yeah.
If you're a real martial arts school, people are gonna get bumps and bruises. You're gonna get knocked out. There's things gonna happen. You gotta be able to take care of them the right way.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
I had a heart attack after training.
Wow.
If I would have, I don't know if anybody would have been able to revive me. I don't know who was trained. There wasn't an AED at the time. I had a heart attack at night after a training session on a Friday.
Wow.
But no, it's not the falling on the floor. It was just like, wow, pressure, what's going on? Come back again, and honestly thought I had to take a shit.
Yeah.
I thought I had to take a shit. Thought I was constipated. I went and had some acai after the class with some buddies, and I'm like, man, luckily I live really close. I'm like, guys, I'm going to take off. Didn't say why. Mm-hmm. I get home. I'm like, I took a shit and I had a shower, and I was great. Woke up in the morning, went to train, same thing. Again, came home. My wife made me go to the hospital, and they're like, you're having a heart attack.
These mild heart attacks happen in the morning. I think.
Yeah.
We have a staff member that just went through that. He's in his early 50s. I think he's the same age as you. He's 51 this year.
Just turned 51 this weekend.
Came up to training, brown belt of mine, Marine. Came home, sat down on his bed. Next thing you know, he's like had the same chest feeling the whole bit. And actually had some blood work done. Yeah, he had a mild heart attack. Yeah. And you just don't know. It just feels like indigestion. That just scares the shit out of me. Somebody knows.
That's my EKG from the day of. This is my EKG from the day of. That little dip shows like this. This is where we can see that there was, because that should be like a straight line across.
Yeah.
This one should match up with that. But they don't tell you you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
They actually didn't say you're having a heart attack. They don't want you to have a heart attack. Exactly what Bo just said. I went in there. They take. It's like this one nurse does the EKG.
Yeah.
It was a guy. He leaves. He comes in with someone else. She looks at the thing,
and they're just like,
And then she leaves, and they come back with a doctor.
Normal heart attack.
So it's like somebody keeps on leaving, and then they bring in somebody else, and by the third person, it was the doctor.
And when
it's
in
like,
close succession, you're like,
See, that
It's
would
only
make
been
me
2 or
more
3
nervous.
minutes.
I would rather them just tell me, because that would terrify me.
Can I say though? Can I say that I was in such good spirits?
Yeah.
I was joking around. They wound up calling in. I was never in pain.
Yeah.
I was having discomfort. a big guy sits on your chest, right?
Yeah.
Got you in full mount. You know that pressure, or even a
100%.
side control pressure. That's what it felt like. It just felt like pressure here. Like, why am I why?
Man, I've really got gas today.
Yeah,
And really,
indigestion.
it felt like gas.
You can't do
It
this
really
to
did.
me. Because now every time I have indigestion or like got a burp real bad, I'm going to be like, I'm fucking dying.
You're dead, dude. Yeah.
Like Red Fox. Remember Red Fox? He used to say, "I'm coming." What's the woman's
I'm
name?
coming.
I'm coming home to you.
I think half the listeners didn't understand.
Yeah,
what
they
you
don't
just
know.
said.
They're like Red who?
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile seen by more potential customers. Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Red Fox
was
was
born
an
in the
actor.
70s,
But, again, like if I was would somebody have been able to revive me? What would have happened? I don't know. And then again, if we go down that list, right, your business insurance, having cameras in the academy.
Is this going to lower our insurance?
I don't know.
Because I don't think the adjuster is particularly
So
good
the
shit.
guy, you want to know something? The answer that I got from the guy that got me to add check their insurance, the guy that said make insurance a line item, was an insurance salesman. Mm-hmm. And he said, yes, some of these things, if you have some of these things that could potentially bring, this is from him. I don't know this to be fact. Talk to your insurance agent. But he was actually, we were going to like partner up and send him the academies that if they needed insurance. And he ghosted us, and I haven't talked to him. He's a friend of a friend, and I told my friend, I said, hey, where's this guy? I thought it was great, but now I don't really think I could work with them.
They're underwriters anyways. There are bigger companies out there that write it for, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. But it was, what I've said this a whole bunch, and I even said it on the podcast that I did the other day, is I didn't realize how important it was until I started getting academies onto the platform.
Yeah. A lot of them don't have it.
They
It's
don't
just
have
scary shit.
And they're
Which
expired.
is nuts. How do you not?
Because I think that it's not necessarily really on purpose either. They forget to do it. They ignore the email, or they realize you have to have the insurance to sign your lease. You get the lease,
too.
and then nobody's coming around to confirm your insurance. I don't believe, and then they can get away with it.
What if somebody gets
they're
hurt?
saving the
Oh, you're
expense.
fucked.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just it, though. Do they
goes
really
your
care
business.
about their students then?
Well, exactly. And I added it as a line item. I believe in it. And look, after that thing happened, that $49 million lawsuit with, that
Oh, did
rolling
they
back
not
tape.
have insurance?
The Henry Gracie
He
incident.
had insurance.
Expert and all that.
They tried to make a claim against the insurance. The insurance they would have paid out a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
I think it would what is it, like 150 max on a lot of those policies.
Yeah.
They said no, we're going to take it to court, and they wound up losing a $49 million lawsuit.
Yeah.
And that guy he wound up doing like a documentary, like climbing a mountain. I haven't seen it. I got to pull it up. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Yeah, it was like a year after the incident. He ended up summiting a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that because he got better.
Did he
after
regain
the,
mobility?
Yeah, he
I
regained
think
mobility.
so,
and everything,
but
yeah.
he's still not like able to like. I think like he was walking, but like dragging his feet. I haven't seen it, but it's been explained to me what happened in the documentary. But I hope that he's even much better. But regardless, I mean, still he should he
Who
should have
had
been
to pay him the money? The gym
insurance company.
owner?
No, the insurance company. It's not
Well,
him.
in that case, good.
Yeah. I mean, that guy doesn't necessarily. That guy's not going out of business. That guy
as a school
maybe
owner,
didn't
man,
go out of business, but I don't know.
That stuff keeps me up at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you work so damn hard. I mean, my gym's been open 11 years this year. And I've been slaving for that thing.
Yeah.
No one gave me anything. It wasn't a loan that got it going. That was all blood, sweat, and fucking tears. Excuse my language,
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
But
go
my
ahead, man.
point is, man, that's effort. And then why wouldn't you as a school owner try to take the steps it takes to protect yourself?
Yeah.
Not only you, but your students and your staff.
Yeah.
Like, you can lose it all tomorrow because of some stupid incident that you weren't prepared for.
Just so you know, I'm going to tell you, I have this conversation a lot, especially with clients. What you just said,
Yeah.
I'm like, every business owner goes through their version of that.
Yeah.
Like this staying up, like you said, staying up at night, or like it keeps me up at night thinking about that.
Away from birthday parties, my
We're all
kids.
going through it. We're all
Yeah.
going through our version of it.
Yeah.
Used to say with my wife, like she would tell me a story and I'd be like, that's happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different industries, nothing to do. And she's like, oh, this one didn't show up and this one ghosted us and this client, this. And I'm just like, we're like totally different industries, but like the same thing goes on. So like basically telling each other, like, don't feel bad about what you're going through because we're all going through it. We're all going through a version of it. So it's like everybody has the employee that doesn't show up. Everybody has the one that shows up high. The one that doesn't call in on time. The client that, hey, Brian.
Whoa. My background check came back clean.
Joshua looked right at you, though. Joshua, like, what? Not me. I'm curious. Let's talk about that for a second because we've had one person come back. We've had one person come back with a failed background check.
Wow.
It was marijuana possession.
Yeah.
And we talked to the school and we're like, we can approve that. You know, we're doing the same check as USA Wrestling, same company, same exact check, same criteria. So they've been doing this for years, much bigger organization than us. We're like, let's do that exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But marijuana and really, you know, even, I don't want to say harder drugs, but, you know, psychedelics and things like that are so prevalent. I know, like in the jiu-jitsu world, I don't know how much how it is in, I would say jiu-jitsu, MMA, like so closely related because of the UFC. Like those martial arts, I don't know about karate. Like, is everybody getting high before karate class? I don't know.
Not so much.
You know,
Like, what's getting flagged? Like,
Not so much.
Is it an academy safe rule structure? Or is it a background check rule structure?
so there's a set of rules. You can go to our website. On the resources page, there's an FAQ towards the bottom of the page, a little drop down. Click on the question, you click it, it gives you the answer. And the very last drop down says the criteria that we follow. I don't think that we wrote that it's the USA Wrestling's, but we're following the same criteria. That one person
Like, are you guys looking specifically for like SA stuff? And that's what we're concerned about versus like, hey, this dude had a bar fight at 23.
It's sexual assault. It is domestic violence. It is any felony will pop red.
As it should.
So immediately it'll fail.
Yeah.
But we have the ability to say, what was that? Are there more details? We will allow them to reach out to the background check company and they can fight that and say, but it was this, or that's incorrect, whatever it is. We haven't had anybody have to do it. On the marijuana possession, we went to the school. I know the coach.
Yeah.
What's your He was probably on
marijuana.
He was probably high at the time.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, it's
and
legal
I can't. We're not going to not have that guy come in.
Was it a 10th Planet School or?
I don't want to say what school. But we had the conversation, and I mean, the guy handed me a jar at one point of edibles. So I'm like, but I knew we were going to I knew we were going to pass him, but we tell them.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's only happened the one time.
So what is
but
your
we are
stance
having a
being the
conversation of like
of Academy Safe? Like, what is your stance? Because I know in the industry we're trying to appeal to all schools. There's karate schools that are very conservative. If a instructor was high, they would fire him on the spot.
Yes.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu culture is a little bit different.
But
that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, we're letting right now. As a matter of fact, it is a subject matter for our next board meeting in 2 weeks. We actually we've added a very prominent. He's about to be added. We added a prominent litigation attorney. If you know the show, you'll know who he is. I don't want to say his name yet until we're fully signed on. He's coming aboard. So we're going to have the answers to these questions. And as long as we say we're doing this and it's just this is the way we do it. So if you're coming on, this is the way we do it. Right? We're not a government agency. We're saying we're this nonprofit. These are the standards. You can see them. If you go to this school, know that this is what we're doing here. Right? So we have to put out that information about what we would do. I would go back though. What do you think about that? What do you think about if one of your coaches would have popped? Nobody did. Everybody passed their background check.
Substance abuse.
If somebody would have popped red on marijuana,
child abuse, versus pedophilia, versus felonies for abuse. For me as a school owner, I think what you do in your spare time for your vices, and in the state of Florida, it's medical. You're allowed to have the medical card, and if you have a bad back problem or you have some PTSD, yes, do what you got to do. But if you're in my business and you're teaching others, you need to be clear-headed for that class. I mean, I expect my guys to be not under a substance when they're teaching at my gym. 100%. And I have a staff of 5 people, so when they're teaching, do your best. You're working with kids, youth, you got to be on awareness. You have to be on your top game, and you can't be on your top game if you're smoking or if you're
I would
drunk,
definitely say if you're doing the kids, I would even say that again. I'm training going on 12 years.
Yeah.
Not a coach.
Yeah.
I'm not an official coach. I'll help out and I'll coach. I might show
You're a
a
black
move.
belt. You
I'm
give
not.
back.
I'm
It's part
not.
of the journey.
I don't have
Yeah.
the keys to the door.
Yeah.
I've never had the keys to my first academy. Maybe. I don't have keys to the door. I'm not opening when there's nobody there. I've gone through the process myself.
Yeah.
Actually, we're doing at my school on March 22nd. If anybody local needs to do their CPR, first aid, and AED, let me know.
Shout
Send
out.
me a message. We're doing it in my school. We have a student that is doing the certification.
Nice.
If you have anybody that wants to come down, we have spots. We have 12 spots.
Okay.
That's it. Anyway, so what was I going to say?
You're talking about your standards and what you think about substance abuse and all that stuff.
Yeah. So again. Oh, so I was going to say if you're coaching the kids class, listen.
Yeah.
You got to smoke before the adults class, if that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't smoke regularly. Not at all.
Yeah.
Barely. The last thing I had was my coach gave me an edible after our Christmas party. He was like, "Hey, you
How
go."
much of an edible?
Like it was like this long one, and me and my wife shared an edible, and we were eating like quarters of it at a time because I hadn't really done anything. The last edible I had was like a freaking little one, something really small that Bo gave me. He gave me a brownie, and I'm like, all that happened was my ears were ringing really loud.
Dive deep, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I don't think it's that bad. I think just smoking marijuana. Like, I've never trained high. I know a lot of people do, but I also wouldn't for me. I'm not having a drink.
Yeah.
Doing a shot and then going to train, so it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I've done a shot.
Look,
after I've had a drink after absolutely after practice, and I don't care if you're high. I actually look not down on, but I worry about when I smell liquor on an adults class, and I smell liquor on their breath. Because now I'm like,
well, they're not
that might
safe.
be a little
They
bit
can
of a
hurt somebody
problem. I feel like that might be a problem.
Yeah.
But if
That is a
marijuana,
problem,
half the class smells like marijuana. How could you tell them they can't coach when everybody's high?
Well,
Yeah.
but I would say though, just from a safety standpoint, how high are you? Because if they're so high, are they really able to watch the students be safe?
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, no.
A lot of people in smaller gyms that don't have 30, 60 members. Our jiu-jitsu classes, we have 40 to 60 on average every class.
Yeah.
It's big classes.
Well, we're talking an adults class.
Adults
class, yeah.
Kids class is 30.
Yeah.
Adults, we have 60 some.
I would definitely say if you're coaching the kids class, don't come in high.
Yeah.
I think kind of gloves are off.
What if
when
it makes you more playful?
I think what Brian just said though is just like how are you going to be literally be able to keep those kids safe if you're high? Listen, if you're high, I know there are people that can function.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I would be like
you can function,
Coach,
but that
are you
doesn't
okay?
mean you're at your best.
Yeah. So we have to have that conversation on what we're going to pass. Right now, we passed that first one.
That's great. The substance abuse stuff is great. Whatever. That's a culture thing. That's a business thing. That's what you're trying to cultivate as a community in your gym. That's you and your staff and your coach. They'll lead those roles. We lead by example. But what I love about Academy Safe is not that. It's really the pedophiles, the felons that beat their wives and now they're trying to be coaches. There's other underlying issues there that we have to talk about and be about.
There's no we haven't had, not to interrupt you, but we don't hear on the news or see in our feed.
Yeah.
Coach was high on marijuana and 3 students dead. We don't see that, but we're seeing
They just
lots
got
of the
really
other side.
hungry after class. Yeah.
And even look, I had a DUI when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did.
I collect bourbon, dude. I like bourbon. On the weekends, man, I'm hitting some bourbon.
You don't hear too, I got into a car accident last night, or I got pulled over, and I was really high. I mean, it just doesn't happen as much, And I think again, a lot of people are kind of like, if you do it all the time. If you smoke all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Whoa!
You smoke all the time, Bo? What we call it, wake and bake? Are you a wake and baker? Like you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee, and you smoke a bone?
I will wake up and bake on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make some pancakes. Kids are still asleep.
Dude,
let's walk
can't,
the dog.
Man. I'm ADHD as hell,
Not weed?
and I can't. There's no way in hell, man. I'll be not functioning eating brownies all day long. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel
You
that.
grow past it. You grow past it.
I'm 47, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going past
No.
it.
When you keep, it's just like jujitsu. The more you train, the better you get.
It's all about mindset.
It's
Come
like
on.
bourbon with us, man. Yeah.
Story.
Yeah. Winner.
Well, I mean, again, look, this is we think it's funny. It is funny, but it is something we have to consider as an organization.
Without a doubt.
My vote is I'm voting to let it go, and I know most, especially with jiu-jitsu. We're not jiu-jitsu specific, but we have a lot of people that are from the jiu-jitsu world because people that have gotten involved have been part of the podcast.
I'm a Taekwondo guy from the 80s. I mean, Karate Kid 85, bro. I watched that. I started kicking my grandma. My mom, a single parent, she's like, you're doing martial arts. I started Taekwondo in 85, over 40 years ago. So for me, like, I love martial arts, but I know that world of the martial arts school industry, the karate guys, the Taekwondo guys, they just won't play that game. So it might be a turnoff for them to be part of an organization that endorses marijuana for their staff.
Not endorsing,
but let it go in the background check. It might be a problem.
So what we're saying though, let me just correct. So
Yes, sir.
we're saying we disclose it to the academy.
Yes.
And they let us know if they want him to pass or not.
I like that.
So we're letting them make the choice.
Yeah.
Now we have to decide, like, as far as liability, do we then disclose that on the site and say, like, what are our
If you're going to give it a disclosure,
we're gonna figure that out. Like, what's our
is, like, you guys let them know, hey, we found this, and then it's up to that culture to produce it, because it's not something that's going to endanger a child. It's not going to endanger a staff member or a student. So
I agree with that.
I like that idea.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're looking for is people that, again, domestic violence.
Yes.
Excuse me, domestic violence.
Pedophile.
Anything related to pedophilia, beating your wife, your girlfriend. I mean, those are the things that we're really looking out for.
Yeah.
If that would have come back as like possession of 3 tons of marijuana, that's like that is immediately intent to distribute. Yeah. That might be different. Okay, we have somebody in a little bit of a different criteria here. Yeah. They are somebody who is probably breaking other laws to do that thing.
I
right?
appreciate
so
that.
That's a little different.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's really different.
What about someone who's white after Labor Day?
I mean, you're immediately
they
off the
didn't pass
You're
the
out.
Unbelievable.
So I mean,
I think the moral story is Academy is Safe is something very important. I think it's something that you guys, if you're a martial arts school owner, listen to this podcast, why aren't you taking the steps to do that? What does it say about your facility and you as a coach?
If nothing else, a parent can walk in the door and then go, and you'll have your sticker on the window or
cool
on
sticker.
your wall, and just go, oh, by the way, we are an Academy Safe certified facility. Oh, what's that? Mm-hmm. And then you can go, oh, everyone here is background check.
It's part of our
it's part of our tour.
It should 100%. It's a huge selling point.
100%. I do the tour in our school because I'm the manager there. So at the Grounds, I walk them to the sticker and I go, yeah, we're Academy Safe. We're one of the first 5 Academy Safe schools. And then they go, oh, they kind of look at me weird. I'm like, oh, let me go and explain. I tell them all the things. They're like, oh, that's awesome. It's
what
already
school
sold
is not
the
doing
program.
that?
Yeah.
It's sold before they even went to the mat.
I might cry.
No, for sure.
We
should
that's
video
what we
for you.
wanted.
We'll do a walkthrough for you.
Do that, man. Do that for me, man. That's awesome. Or even if you just did it, not with the parent, but if you did it
The
and
videotape
talked about
of me
it.
doing it, yeah, that's fine.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tearing up a little bit over here.
Creating value. Creating
it feels
value
good.
when people don't realize there's value there is what you need to do if you want to sell your program.
100%.
The big part of this is people having the conversation. We're having the conversation here. I know that people are having the conversation because I'm getting calls and messages internationally.
Yeah.
We have people from the UK like, hey, when are you going to start this here?
Yeah.
We've got people like, hey, can I tell you my story? I know you're not a reporting agency, but I just want to tell you what happened to me. Like, this stuff is going on out there and people are having this conversation. I even see it in my own gym. Like, we do a little bit, like, sometimes we joke when we see something weird. We're like, concussion course.
For me, walking by the 80 sign, we have an 80 right here. What's that for? It's more value. Hey, we're here to protect you, and let's do some badass martial arts.
I can't see. There's nobody. So I was going to say, there's nobody that can argue this point that those 8 things aren't important. No.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the cost. Okay, so it's $99 for a coach for 1 year, and then it's $75 for the academy owner. It's the $99. It's $75 for a coach for a year. Coaches, if they are a coach at other gyms, they could just carry it over. You don't have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put you on. If you're coach at 10 places, I'll put you on all 10. No additional cost. And for the academy owner, I won't ask you what you charge. I know that I've paid $159 was the highest I ever paid for my monthly at my last school. I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So $150, $99 for the year. So that's 2/3 of one student's first month. Gives you like this thing. Mm-hmm. And then what are we giving? We're posting about you on social media. Like right now we're building the database, but the phase 2 is then to advertise, to push, to post more about you guys and the people that are out there, having them come on the show, having them talk about it. Do what you did with Bo before. Do a little kind of,
for sure.
Just, do a little a reel for us.
Power. Get the word out.
Yeah,
This is your academy. Academy Safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I'm good. We're literally
Profound, man.
we're
That was
getting
really
there.
profound, man.
Yeah.
I like that, though.
Hey, let me do some shout outs. I'm gonna just shout out some of our sponsors. So just bear with me, guys, and then we're gonna dig into both your backgrounds and where you started and all that stuff.
Good.
So thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll. I got my Fro and Roll shirt on today.
That's a cool shirt, man. I want one of
Always
those.
rubbing his nipple.
That sold it for
It's
me.
a skull. Puppy.
I say they are the producers of the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll. Check out the custom designs they create for academies and competitors across the country. Gym owners, stock up on your gis and no-gi kits at flowandroll.com today. Visit the website. It's flowandroll.com. Get 20% off your online order. So that's just if you want to order a gi or a belt, just or just a T-shirt. And they're doing a really
Don't wash your
cool.
belts. Don't wash them. No one needs to wash their belts.
You stinky
Look good,
bastard.
feel good.
They're doing a really cool special right now. So we'll use the round number. So they're basically going to give you 25% more
Brian, you writing
of
this
your
down?
rash guards.
All of it.
Brian, write it down. For the
You
rounds.
order 100 rash guards from Flow and Roll. They will give you 25 for free.
That's
So
awesome.
you're getting
That's actually
That's better than the
minimum
Pakistan
order
deal.
of 20. Minimum order of 25, and again, just 20. They're giving you 25% more
That's
for
awesome.
free.
That's great.
It's not advertised anywhere else. You have to. I heard about this on the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. I'm interested in finding about this
Is there a
25%
code?
deal. No code, just telling the
Okay.
podcast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why you're calling. You're probably getting Sean, the owner that we deal with.
Okay.
He just I got a
Sean,
message
I
from
mean
him.
to call you. I'm sorry.
He just got. He's been doing. So he's been doing the IBJJF and ADCCs. Like he's been going setting up a booth. So he's like I just drove home from LA. I got a text from him this morning. He's like, dude, I
That
just got
sounds
home.
terrible.
But he's got a crew. He's got it's a family
wants to go to
business.
LA?
He's got his sons coming out and doing stuff with him and doing the booth. And one of his kids takes care of like the child competitors, like anybody that wants to get sponsored and stuff like that. That's how he made his business took off from sponsoring kids.
Wow.
Kids would be like, hey man, can I get a free rash guard? It's
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Your
get a
kid
free
likes
rash
shits,
guard.
that's
Now,
awesome.
I not only that, he would send them a kit and a T-shirt and some stickers, and then when they saw them locally, they come and buy some more stuff, and then all of a sudden, all the Flow and Roll gears in the gym, and then the coach is going, "Hey man, all my kids got your Flow and Roll stuff. What's going on?" And the really cool thing is that he actually on, like the kid, they just did the kids no-gi,
Yeah.
right? They just introduced the kids no-gi stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is a very specific IBJJF has rules on the colors, right? How much color you can wear. Like if you're a brown belt, you have to have brown, right? If you're a yellow belt, you have to. So there was another company there that didn't have their stuff approved. People would buy it, go on the mat, and they'd be like, "You can't wear that.
Oh.
You go change, go buy something. I'll give you a few minutes."
IBGF?
And,
Yeah.
at the IBJJF.
Of course it was.
So they'll and they'd go over to Flow and Roll and have to buy something
Yeah.
new, and the other company wouldn't give refunds.
Smart.
But they went through
Good
the
job, Sean.
process. He knew enough to go through the process.
Yeah.
But fast forward, what happens is, again, so many of the kids go to the academy on Monday. Everybody's wearing their Flow and Roll
Smart.
custom colored, tops, and the coach is like, "What the fuck's going on?" stuff. And then they wind up I have other rash guards I just don't wear them.
Yeah.
For me, a big guy, it's the one XL that fits me like an XL. Like I, don't have the fucking like tight stomach sticking
Yeah.
out. It's the one I've loved it from the beginning, and him partnering with us
Dude,
from
it's
the
awesome.
beginning was awesome.
And he supports
So,
Academy Safe, right?
He's an Academy Safe
Boom.
supporter. He's
Brian, write that name down.
great dude. When you talk about like customer service
Yeah.
and like again, he's really still building, but he's come a long way. When you talk about the customer service side, like he holds your hand, he tells you like all the ins and outs of like, because then people are ordering like $15,000 worth of like gi. Like in the beginning of the year, they're ordering like their gis, their kits, like all their rash guards, belts, and stuff like that. So that could be like a huge order. One of the things that he did if you asked him about it, he would probably still do it. He had a pre-order program. So let's say like you're a new gym and you do want to stock up on your
cost
stuff.
is crazy when you first start
He
out.
put them on the website as a pre-order.
Yeah.
Let your students come and order the pre-order. You never touch the stuff yet, but now it's
Smart.
a pre-order. So we'll take all the orders. We're going to ship them directly to them and give them a cut, like they give them a gi bag and all that stuff, right? So then he does that pre-order
does good
program.
stuff,
So you don't have to lay it out of your pocket. It's a few $100 to do the designs and stuff, but you don't have to lay out
I
the
love
$5,000,
that.
That's
$10,000.
amazing. Yeah.
Because I have over 500 members at my academy, so we have a big school and quite some time. So long story
You
short,
make no less.
we don't have any. We don't give a lot of rank gear out because the gamut of so many people,
Yeah.
and sometimes I don't want to stock up. I don't know about you, Ben, but I stock up like on 50 brown belt rash guards, and only 5
hell
dudes
no.
buy them. You know what I'm saying? So I like that idea a lot.
That's really cool.
Put it on his website.
Yeah.
You still get this is what we want to mark it up. So you're still getting your markup. It's not like he's stealing your profit, right?
I just
You
want my
get your
students to have
profit.
Cool stuff, man.
So then he can
I don't
say,
want
okay,
hold
you
stock.
you
That's what
you sell 50 gis or at 50 rash guards, right?
Yeah.
Then they place the order,
Perfect.
but you get 100.
Yeah.
Right? So you get your 50, he ships them to them, you get your other 50,
Nice.
but he applied the profit to that order, so you're not out of pocket. He got his money.
Yeah.
Your crew got the gi. You'll get any of the profit, or you can apply that profit towards your part of the order that you're looking to stock up. Makes it super easy for somebody to
Awesome.
order. A new gym that doesn't have the money is just like, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
So he did that pre-order program for a really long time. He doesn't. It was the thing that we spoke about most of the time, instead of this special that the 100 to the 2,500. A great way of getting business and helping out a small school that probably is never going to be able to.
For sure.
They're going to be like, they're going to get all their stuff from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Then they're going to try to
It's
get it
not
sewn
fun.
on,
Yeah.
like get
Been there, done
the
that.
patches on locally, and then
Yeah.
it's a pain. So he does a really great job. I love his stuff. I'm forever
Flow
in
and roll,
t-shirts.
people.
Flow and roll.
Write it
baby.
down. Tell your friends.
So, Leo Optics. Here, why don't you try these on?
Yeah.
He's not gonna let you keep them. Don't
It's
get
okay.
comfortable.
I get prescriptions, so
Actually-
I'm blind. Where are we, guys?
Actually, can you not wear sunglasses?
I can wear sunglasses. Yeah.
Okay.
This is good.
God, you just
So-
look so damn cool.
Thanks,
So these
man.
are, so
I'm like the
he's
Matrix. I'm
got to
the
give him back.
Matrix.
This is my very last pair. Sorry, Brian.
You're fine.
My very last pair. These are for you.
Ah,
there's
thank you,
There's a
brother.
little case inside of the case. There's a little bag
Wow.
inside of the case.
Wow.
Very
Thank you,
cool.
brother.
It's still got the little the sticker on there, so you
Does
can
it?
pull the sticker off on the front if you're gonna wear them.
Yeah.
Leo Optics. Shout out to our friends Lionel and the other guy.
Thank you,
I don't want to say
Lionel.
his name.
Yeah.
I won't say who's. He's got a really cool partner that's behind him. So they are the go-to brand for sunglasses and apparel featuring these unique
Boom.
bamboo sunglasses.
Right here.
Check out take them off for a second.
Okay.
Have you seen these
I don't
before?
know if I want to, man. I'm in the Matrix
Yeah.
here.
So look at the red stripe.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu black belt.
Hey. Born in Southern California, their products embody the BJJ lifestyle that we all know and love. So
Come on,
visit
B.
Leo Optics and use code JJD for 10% off your order. They are supporters of Academy Safe as well. So
All right, Brian, give him back.
very cool. He gave us a whole bunch of sunglasses to give out at a seminar that we did. So we've had, if it's ever something that you guys want to do, we've had a lot of the academies, Lionheart out in Colorado and Grounds, not the Grounds in Colorado.
Yeah.
They're doing a seminar this weekend.
Trademark infringement.
And they are raising money. We set up a GoFundMe. They send their students there. They're doing a seminar, and they did it in to benefit Academy Safe, which was really cool.
Very
they had
cool.
come down. Mike and Sheena Bidwell. They've been on the show a few times. They came down to Florida. They did a seminar here.
40 and
And
up
then
jiu-jitsu
he's like,
guy?
"Hey, we're right near Lionheart. Holy shit!" Like, and they got together. They're like, "Hey, we're both doing Academy Safe. Let's get together." And now they're doing a seminar at
That's
Lionheart,
amazing.
and they were like, not only did the owner of Lionheart, not only did he say like, "Hey, we're going to do this. I want to do this." He was the one that brought us the idea. He said, "Hey, I'm going to match 50%. Whatever we do, I'm going to give you another 50%." I was like, "Oh, that was amazing."
Dude.
And he
Yeah,
calls me back.
I'm all for that
Yeah,
for our
that's
school.
amazing.
He called-
we have some
hey.
big seminars coming up.
He called. He said he texted me 2 days later.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I saw my mom over the weekend. She's going to donate the other 50%. So whatever we raise, they're going to match it 100% of whatever
awesome.
we raise, which is really cool." We have Ohana Jiu-Jitsu down here in Plantation, Florida, on
like that name.
Saturday.
Family.
March 8th. Yeah, family. Yeah.
Yeah.
March 8th is International Women's Day, and they're doing a women's self-defense course. Same thing, raising money and proceeds going to Academy Safe. So that didn't ask anybody to do that. Both
No.
of those situations came to us. I did the one where I invited my guys down.
If you want on the West Coast, we got you guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever want,
100%. You
we
can
did
have
all the
100% of
promo,
proceeds.
we did the posters, we did all the posting,
Yeah.
we shared, just like,
Let's do it.
we did some, and it was just like, it helps us raise money. That's the hardest part. I told you guys before, like everything is coming from Black Belt. I'm floating everything.
Yeah, your marketing company, which shouldn't be the way. So come on, sponsorship. Let's go.
man. It's been not it hasn't been difficult because I think the thing that stops people from doing the nonprofit idea that they have is I got to go get a logo. And I got to
It's
buy the
work.
name, and I register the company, and what do I do? And then I got to register with the federal government. There's so many things. I have done it before. I've sat on a board before. I knew what to do. It was up and
Awesome,
running really
Milton.
quick. And then I went like this to my company. I said, "Okay, look, I need the website. Here's the logo. Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah." If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It would have just taken too
I'm
much
glad
time.
you did.
So
one thing I got a little excited when you were talking, it was like, the guys getting together in Colorado trying to do this. And you said the word community. And that's what I love, because somebody who is a part of it now, I want to be part of the community to help talk about it, so we can be about it. We surround ourselves with the same mindset, and that becomes a force that the industry has to take a look at. And the more we can be more community, more like Ben and I, hey, we got a school, is our academy safe? It's a cool vibe, but also it's for the right reasons. And so if we can keep that family, I call it in our gym the Matt family, like keep moving forward, keep working together, keep getting out there, and like, you know, sending the word about why it's important. I'm so 100% behind it, man. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you, man.
Booyah.
Yeah, it was the one thing that I didn't ask anybody to do.
Yeah.
They've just been getting together, and now I'm like, well, everybody wants to do a seminar. Let's do a seminar. Great, you know.
Full send.
So
protect your communities, man.
let's give a quick shout out to Laheel Biogenics. If you see alpha lipoic acid, right? We've got this here. They have these in their facility. We've got the joint formula. I'm taking both of these.
Nice.
This is my empty. I'm taking the other full one. Bo wants to take a picture. I know my. I used to smile and I would look like the Joker because I like you could see all my gums. So I had to learn how to smile. Like being on here and I smile really big. I'm like, I look like a fucking idiot. That's what that whole this came from me so that I wouldn't smile and look like a freaking moron with my gum sticking out. So Laheel Biogenics is one of our newest sponsors. Very cool. Nathan and Stacy have been amazing. Going to be going up and getting a little treatment.
A little
of this and a little of this and a little of that. Going to get some of this. I'm going to get some of that. I don't have to go to Mexico.
Yeah. Hi, puppy.
So rolling every day is tough on the body, but pain doesn't have to hold you back. At Laheel Biogenics, they empower jiu-jitsu practitioners like all of us here to recover faster, train harder, and achieve peak performance with the power of regenerative medicine. They're helping athletes stay on the mat and staying on top of their game. They've got like a really cool roster of people. Bo, I got to talk to you about this. Bo's coming out with me. He's going to take some video of me getting treated.
Nice.
There's you have a fight that night. You have is it a combat night?
I'll be in Kissimmee, yeah.
Yeah, they want us to. They invited me to go. They're like, hey, we can go after. But I'm just like, I don't know about like I hadn't planned on staying over. I thought I was going to run up and come back. So we got to talk.
You don't
if
have any
we stay
little
over,
kids.
we can
You got no
go.
little kids. Your kids are grown up.
Well,
Go to Kissimmee.
Bo's wife might. The night that we're going up, the day that we're going up, April 5th, when we're going to Laheel, there is a fight
in
for
Kissimmee.
combat that the organization he commentates for in Kissimmee, right by Orlando, right? He is there's a fight that night.
Yes,
so they
sir.
said, hey, one of our sponsored athletes is going to be fighting that night. We're going to watch him. So they invited us. I said it would be really cool, and I said I got to talk to Bo. I don't know. I don't know if Bo.
Do you have a mobile podcast?
I don't know if Bo can get his permission slip filled out. I know.
Well, then Bo.
Just kidding.
Well, so then Bo can go home.
Bo's married, by the way.
Also-
yeah, that's what he said.
Also, I'm a little. I'm like me. I don't.
married
Do I?
too.
Do
I
I
get
get
it,
it?
brother.
Do I get a king size bed or do I get two twins? I don't know. Like how we're doing.
Those are not pillows. Those are not pillows.
But yeah, so we got to talk about. We got the invite. I was waiting to talk to you to see if we would do it. But yeah, we might come up and.
In
and,
all
and
honesty,
commentate.
I drive home from Kissimmee. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's going in the
I take
morning
that
to
back.
Tampa.
If they're doing a pro show, they end a little later, 11 plus. But if they're
Okay.
doing just amateurs, it's like 9:30.
Is it amateur
Nice.
night? Is that?
No, I think this
that
one's
does
at the rodeo grounds where they went last time. It's where Glory comes when they come to Orlando.
Oh, really?
Nice.
It's pretty big. I would say if you have a mobile podcast set up, I would see if you could do one.
We don't. I mean, we don't. I got. Who's
You got
the,
an iPhone and some lav mics.
I got an.
this, bro.
Well, I mean, we could. I know that we could put something together. Somebody else asked. Damn, I can't remember. Somebody else just asked me about that. Like, hey, come out and record at the event.
I know.
forget who it was.
I know. Rise of a Warrior with Dan Donaldson. He's had 2 or 3 podcasts in his last couple shows, and they've all like where they have the walkout for the fighters. They just have a booth set up, and when guys finish fighting, they'll grab some of them. They'll talk to a coach. They'll talk to the promoter. It was a cool little thing.
I was. I just remember it was the Beach Jiu-Jitsu guys came on Toledo. They asked me. They're doing
awesome.
an event in May, so I had to talk to Bo about that one. And I said, well, let me talk to Ben, who's a professional commentator. I said, I don't know that I feel great just like commentating. I've never commentated for jiu-jitsu. I said, let me talk to Ben. If Ben is down to do it, we go out. We can talk about our stuff like this.
Yeah.
They
Dude,
said
you
that
gotta
they
get a
would
mobile
even have
setup. Mobile
mics.
setup. That's what you're saying.
I got rid of most of the old stuff. I'd have to talk to Bo if we can get set up. But they asked us to set up.
I have a lab setup.
Yeah.
For a phone system.
We too, you can have it. It's in the gym. We don't use it for podcasts way beyond.
Bo's saying I know that we could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I feel comfortable just being there commentating on.
Do they want a
jiu-jitsu.
commentary team, or do they want to do the podcast at the event?
The second.
Okay.
But I believe they were talking about like one of the partners was saying like and commentate, and the other partner was just like no,
What
you
day is
just do. It's going to be like a Saturday.
Yeah. I just feel like May 17th. May 17th, we got fights in Jacksonville, and then there's another day in May, but I forgot.
I'll get back with you on it. But that was the thing again. I was just like,
I'm here to call the action.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's amazing. Have you heard his stuff? Did you follow him? Give him a follow. MMA Coach Ben
Definitely.
on Instagram.
Definitely.
He's a great follow.
I do
and
follow
he does.
him. I just didn't
sir.
know about the commentation of fights.
I'll say this.
I met Ben.
I met Josh at the end of last year at a convention for business owners, and we'd never have any interaction prior.
Yeah.
And he like sought me out and was like, "Hey, I know you from online. I know you're in Florida. I know you're new to this group. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. Follow me online. Anything you need, hit me up." How long were you with the group now?
Been since pre-COVID, so 19.
Okay. So he's only been with it a few years now. I'm on maybe 8 months.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And I'm just now getting the wheels rolling, and I'm like, oh shit, this could be crazy. Like this Saturday, I have a Mardi Gras party / community outreach / basically I take my front room and we're going to have a kids class up to 25 kids. And I took my back room, I'm pulling all the mats up. And if you are a member of my gym and you own a business, I want you setting up and displaying your business, not just to our gym community, because who's coming and going, oh, hey, everyone, I own a roofing company? No one. They're just going, what's up, Tim? How you doing? You know what I mean? But in this opportunity, maybe, and it's not just us.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to have photos and social media, so your stuff's going to get out to the people who already follow us, which is your friends and training partners. And, I mean, shit, just from like handshakes, the amount of business networking that's happened.
I network for a living. That's what I do. That's how we get our business.
But now,
part of a networking group.
I put this on Eventbrite on a whim. We put 25 kids for the class, but like 40 people. We're at like 35 people off Eventbrite alone.
Selling a ticket or just like a free ticket?
It's 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like this kind of thing can change my entire business.
Yeah.
And I haven't even tagged you yet. And like you are so far ahead of where I'm at.
It takes some time, but it's worth the squeeze is worth the juice. That's for sure.
So two things. So when you do an Eventbrite, especially when you started early, like not everybody's coming. Especially when it's free tickets. So people are gonna book. So like overbook.
Dude, we
like,
did it on like
overbook.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Overbook it because especially when there's a long time between the first time that they clicked it and the actual event. I use it for our networking group. So like we get 30 people sign up to something free, like 10, 15 are coming. At least that's been our experience.
Dude, this is the first one I'm going to be running.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I got lucky. One of my guys, he worked in another local school for like 5+ years, specializing in kids, doing birthday parties. Then I'm like, oh, sweet. Thank you so much for being here. Come help me out. But he doesn't do sales. So I'm integrating myself in so that we can do that. Hey, when we're done, here's a special for coming.
You have to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right, Brian?
So-
Preach it, Brian.
100%.
Yeah.
We did my daughter's birthday party to try out birthday parties.
Yeah.
We ended up with over 80 people.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately, more than half live in like Weston and Broward and Miami.
Yeah.
But like we had 40 kids on our mat.
Yeah.
And which is how we found out that our 4 to 6 year olds class was an hour too early for anyone to come in.
Yeah.
Because we had 30 people that were like, I'll sign up today. And we're like, hell yeah. And they're like, 4:30. Ugh. So like, as of March 1st,
But there's 1,000 more families in your area that will do 4:30.
Yeah.
where
You know
are
what I'm saying? So you
I've
gotta
got
build it.
120 adults and like 16 kids.
Can I
Up,
say?
man.
Yeah.
Follow
So-
systems will help with that for sure.
So you said you started that out was talking about how much of a nice
sought me
guy
out
he
and
was.
approached me, gave me all his contact information. Call me, reach out to me. I will help you with whatever I can.
Yeah.
I was like,
This group is an amazing group.
Yeah.
They've been in industry for a long time, but us jiu-jitsu MMA people, like I want them to show the value because they're like, I'm not a Taekwondo guy. I'm not a karate guy.
So-
Bro, they figured that stuff out a long time ago. And so as jiu-jitsu MMA guys, if we don't succeed, then we don't have schools that will prosper and be there for our communities. So I want to see the MMA guy succeed. I want to see the jiu-jitsu guy succeed. And there's a lot to be learned in the jiu-jitsu community. If your last name's not Gracie Academy, you can still be more successful.
Yeah.
Trust me, because I am.
I want
I'm a
to
school
say
teacher.
that you said that, And I always, Joshua, this is one thing, like anytime like somebody reaches out, like I use like people will, hey, can I come on the show? And I'm like, yeah, let me give you a follow. And then, you know, kind of get to know them online.
Sir.
And I always have the same question, just like I had it about you and I have it about everybody, including like Ben coming on. Like, I'm always like, is this guy as nice as his social media presence? Like, right? So no, that there's always because sometimes people come in and then they think
No,
that,
yeah.
I
There's
haven't
some
had
fake people in this world.
I
for
haven't had
sure.
it a lot,
Yeah.
but 2 hours of sitting down and talking, you know, it reveals itself. I know for me, it's like my New York comes out, people hear the accent and it turns them off immediately, and then they get to know me and they're like, oh, you're not so bad. It's just the New York, you know. People down here don't love that.
Yeah.
But
One of my best
it
friends
seems
from New York.
like
Driving up our housing prices.
Coach. I'll ask Brian. He's actually this nice. This is.
No, he's an asshole.
He's the worst.
I just lobbed that over the plate for you.
You really did.
He set it up, man.
The fact that he said that, the fact that he said that, I was right there. I'm like, is this guy really this fucking nice?
Yes,
Is this
he
like
really
a nice
is.
guy?
Yeah.
And it seems like
I'm just trying to
in the
feel
time
the
that we're
land.
here.
I'm not beating myself 100% right now, but definitely, I'm not a fake person.
Can I say something
Sure,
about that,
man.
actually? So I'm 33 this month. I've known Josh since I was 11. And
I didn't groom him.
No.
no, he was
Grooming him for a job.
I was hoping nobody was going to go there on that one.
I will.
He
Sorry.
didn't do himself.
We all had an 11-year-old joke like loading.
But he was my 6th grade math teacher, and I wouldn't be with him this long if he wasn't a good dude.
It's one of the reasons why I said it. I'm like, this. You mentioned before how long that you've been with him for a really long time. That just doesn't happen because you would have at some point been like, this guy's an asshole. I'm out of here, right? So I think it's like what do they say? Like you are the sum of the 4 or 5 people that are closest to you.
Yes.
Like show me your 4 or 5 friends, and I will show you.
My
who
mom
you are.
says that all the time.
You
You
know?
have 5 good friends in your hand. If you can count them in your life, you lived a great life.
Yeah. But that also like you that winds up you attract those people that are similar to you or that can feed your soul somewhat or feed like maybe what you want to be like. So had a guest early on, like in the double digits that talked about that. He wrote a book and he talked about that. And that stuck with me. So I've always thought about that.
Yeah.
But I see you complimenting him, me having spoken to him having done Academy Safe. I'm like, man, this guy's probably an asshole. Like, it's just like I like when I meet somebody and then it's just like also, like, I think it was I don't care about politics. I'm just saying. I think it was Michelle Obama one of the Obamas said, believe somebody when they tell you who they are. I think it was Michelle Obama said that.
That was DMX. That was 100% DMX.
Yeah.
No,
what did he say? He's like,
we talk about it.
trust. What was it? Trust a thief to be a thief.
Yeah.
Trust a snitch to be a snitch. Trust a snake to be a snake.
DMX.
Trust them to be exactly who they are.
Yeah. Wow. That's one deep, bro.
There you go.
So for me, like we talk about this all the time.
I'll continue to quote Michelle Obama though on that one.
Oh yeah.
Like DMX said.
Hey, yo.
this is great. I love the DMX. For me, that's like we talk about this all the time with Brian and I, because my job now has been an academy owner for over a decade, is trying to transition and empower my team, not my students, just on the mat. So I've changed positions, which is hard for me because I love being on the mats. I love teaching. So long story short, it's like we talk about behavior is a language. Yeah. And so for me, that's a huge one for me. So your behavior speaks volumes. You can say all you want, but your behavior is a language. And we live by that as a team. So we talk about, you said this one thing, but did you show up? Behavior is language. You say one thing or another. So my behavior is how I treat people, is how I want to be treated, man. Like I love people. And so if you're not authentic, if you're not being real, you can smell through that. Behavior is language.
Hey, let me finish my shout outs and then I want to dive into, you've talked a lot about these organizations and I'm so into the business side
I know a
of
little
things.
about business martial arts. I grew up in it. So
again, we were talking about LaHeal Biogenics. Let me start over. I'm going to say rolling every day is tough on the body, but pain doesn't have to hold you back. At LaHeal Biogenics, they empower jiu-jitsu practitioners like you to recover faster, train harder, and achieve peak performance with the power of regenerative medicine. And they're helping athletes stay on the mats and on top of their game. If you are not local to LaHeal, which they have locations in Lakeland, Brandon, and South Tampa in Florida. If you're not local, it's not a problem. You can schedule a telephone consult. The process is super easy, and you can even get a same-day treatment. Okay, so they treat hundreds of professional and amateur warriors. Again, they're inviting us up to go see a fight for one of their guys. LaHeal Biogenics has truly become the go-to resource for the fighting community. And when it comes to recovery and healing, I mean, there's nobody that can match what they're doing here. You do not have to go to Mexico to get stem cell treatments. Talk to them, find out what you can be doing. Okay, don't let pain or injuries hold you back. Schedule your free in-person or telemedicine consultation today at LaHeal.com. That's LEHEAL.com. and let them help you get back to doing what you love. Mention the podcast, just like Flow and Roll before. Mention the podcast, mention Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, and you get 20% off your first treatment. Not too bad.
Woohoo!
Okay?
It's actually really good. 20% hefty.
Since we've been talking a ton about Academy Safe, I won't do my whole long shout out for Academy Safe, but check us out at academysafe.org.
Have you heard of this?
I have never heard
What is Academy Safe?
So let's talk about. I belong to a business group for just like-minded business professionals. Every industry is represented by one person. That you meet every week and you share referrals, and that's it. You're a member of the group. So. What do you guys have masterminds? Are you part of literally the same group?
No.
Or the same organization
I'm sure
that
we
puts you into
overlap.
smaller groups?
Yeah, so I joined a consulting firm last June. The shopping center that
You can say the names. You can say the names of the company if you want.
Just last June, the building I was based in, instead of upkeeping the building, decided to tear it down so the city wouldn't find them. So I was thrown on 29 days notice that I needed to build a new gym out.
Yeah.
And, bro, brutal.
God bless you.
Had all these issues, Apple Maps had us as permanently closed. I don't even have an Apple Maps listing. I had to create a listing, control my thing, take all this shit over.
You should have called me. I do it in one shot. 55 directories built out in 2 minutes.
Black Belt marketing.
Let me know if you still need. We'll talk.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some things that I could do that maybe your other companies aren't doing. That it's just like give you a little help you out.
I would love it, but it started a bit of a downward trend. Like our website hit. Like we used to get 30 to 40 leads. We'd get 15 or so trials, then 9 or 10 signups in any given month. And that shit went to 3, 4. And I'm like, what's going on? Because
Brian, take a deep breath.
We have a bustling crew. Like the inside of the gym, fantastic.
Yeah,
Didn't
culture's
lose any heads. Everything was awesome, but they just weren't coming in.
Yeah.
And then rent triples when you got to move
That's
all of a sudden.
the lifeline of a gym, man.
Yeah.
I feel you, brother.
Bro, it was rough. So I'm
God
like,
bless
what
you.
else am I going to do? So from June, July, August, I'm like, fuck it. I've been friends with Jason Patino for over a decade, and he's
the
one
man.
of the main consultants. But he'd always just been helping.
Is that part of Maya? Is
Yeah.
that thing
Yeah.
part?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
So what we're
part of
talking about, the
Maya?
group
Yeah.
we're talking about is Maya, Martial Art Industry Association. So they've been around since I was in the 80s.
30
the
years
martial arts.
almost, yeah.
Yeah, and it's changed a lot. The last few years, if you were in the past, those listening, if you're a martial arts school owner, it's changed a lot in the last 5 years. Since post-COVID, man, it has been amazing. So I just want to give a shout out to my peeps.
But so through that, my big thing, I always had adults, never kids. And the lifeline of most gyms is kids. So my thing was just backwards. And there's I have no explanation for it.
No explanation for doing it that way. You just thought to do it that way.
That's just how it happened.
Yeah.
When I would run ads specifically for kids, build the kids program, blah, 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 blah. I got their older brothers, I got their uncles, I got their dads. No particular reason. It's just 10 years. It's just how it's been. And I'm like, okay, run with it. Whatever. Whoever's coming in is coming in.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of almost maxed out on space. I got a 1,200 square foot mat with 35 adults on it. That's it.
It's time for a schedule change.
I know so not having owned a school, but discussing marketing with my last coach. The focus was the kids program. You get the kids on the mat, mom and dad are picking them up or waiting, and then the coaches are like, hey, why don't you come to the adults class, right? So you get the kid and then you get the parents. And my school, we were notorious for that. Not notorious in a bad way in that regard, notorious for it was like all the kids from the kids class were all hanging out playing while their parents did their hour. So the parents waited for the kids waited for the parent. And we would weekends, our open mats, we called it family over mat.
Which is the
Because it
vibe I was
so
going
many
for.
people.
It's what I always wanted. Especially now that I have a kid. She's coming with me to open mat.
Yeah.
If there's other kids,
She's gonna be
it's
training.
good.
Yeah.
My kid grew up on the mats. It's the best.
Yeah, but it's just not who was coming through the door. So now I'm like, well, let's say in my current space, because I'm locked in on a lease now, I'm pretty full on adults, but I've got room for kids.
Yeah.
How many square feet is your facility?
3,000.
3,000. So you have.
I got one room, 2,000. I got a second room,
I
1,000.
think I've seen online. Watch your social. All of
I
that.
split. I
New
got a
spot.
striking
You just
room.
moved your spot, right?
Yeah, in June.
Yeah, so that's beautiful, dude. 3,000 square feet. People I want a 10,000 square foot facility. You don't need it. To be honest with you, you can run a successful school with 500 to 700 students in a 3,000 square foot
Charlie
facility.
Vitch sent a question. He on our questions post.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just like,
Charlie. Good old Charlie.
He said he goes, how do you get 500 students like Coach
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You give them
It's
free tuition, and they come in and sign up, so you save a lot of members. Yeah.
So wait, so your Instagram is Coach
Fried.
Fried.
Yeah,
Okay, I just
F-R-Y-E-D.
realizing that there's a D at the end.
Yeah,
Fried.
Fried.
So
My last name's Fry, so we do the Fried. I don't know, something stupid.
I just kind of realized now.
Trying to
but
get with the
fried,
young groups,
does that
you
mean
know?
fried? so you have one location with 500
Yes.
and 500 students at that location.
Yeah,
kids
we
and
fluctuate
adults.
from 500 to 550.
You have a pretty
Okay.
large location, though.
Yeah, so I say don't get a large location, but I know what I know
But if you
now,
have 500 students, like you can afford a large location.
for sure, it's just not really about mat space. It's about schedule and what. I'm gonna stop right now because I'm trying to listen to you guys talk in band, but I have I want to say this, I want to say this, and I'm not interjecting. But at the end of the day, it's like if it's not, you say you have adults, right? Then effing go with adults. And
Yeah.
pack it up with adults because you like it. That's the culture you teach. That's what people like. Kids are great too. I want kids too. And I just always had a small kid program. My kid program is my smallest right now. I have mainly 75% adults in my gym. And so, and they're not always fighters. Some are, some wannabes, and some, everyday people. So at the end of the day, it's about schedule, number one. Number two, 3,000 square foot is really all you need if you schedule it right.
Go back on. What do you mean it's about schedule? Just like
So basically, you break up classes in ways that are beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you think about it differently. Don't think about jiu-jitsu gi class today. It's going to be fundamental class. It's an hour long. You're in kimonos. All right, cool. How about what's when we can segregate that for a different time spot where they're not so packed? So let's segregate by skill, not about
so like 5
just
o'clock
one class.
is intermediate, 6 o'clock is advanced. Okay, all right.
And if you can get like
Most schools it's just like 7 o'clock
It's
is
just
the
gi
adult
class.
class.
Yeah.
because they
and
never
everybody-
had these
okay.
pains yet. They haven't learned how to situationally.
That's also a mat
organize.
space issue as well. You got to have the space to facilitate that. Like I'm
Yeah.
running adults 6, 7, 8. We close at 9.
Yeah,
And I run 2 rooms most nights of the week.
you got 2 mats.
Yeah.
Dude, you can easily do it. I want to. Well, we need to sit down and talk,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Let's just talk, man. Because Patino say the same thing. It's just about schedule and how you think differently, and just try it. And if it doesn't work, go back to what you're doing. Because all you got to do is
so
win.
go back. So like you're part of this Maya group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
Maya's
you're not
Martial Art
in each
Industry
other's-
Association.
You're
huh?
not in each other's group, but you're like
So
tangentially
it's a
related or something.
large community.
Yes.
Okay.
And so like they'll have like the monthly meets, and then it's like quite a few like national people like
Aren't
in
they,
a-
aren't-
big
did they
names.
just have, or aren't they having one like a
March.
big one for school?
yeah.
Right.
The end of this month.
Is
we'll
it
be in
like
Orlando.
at the end of the month?
Yeah,
In
Okay.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we'll be in March. My whole staff's going. We're closing the school.
And that's
how
about
important it is for us.
school owners coming there and
So-
sharing ideas, but also
1,000.
kind of following.
Yeah.
1,000
Right, I know
people.
like Chris Rodriguez, who we had on.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
My friend, I love
She
her to
goes.
death.
She
She's
speaks.
awesome.
She speaks at those events, right? I
Yeah,
see
she's
her all
she's
over.
a consultant.
I'm
yeah.
like, does she own that thing? Because every freaking
talk
every
about
post is
sense,
of her.
Bro, talk about a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Chris is a monster.
So
Yeah,
I started like martial art industry stuff with Alan Belcher years ago. I wouldn't be where I'm at with Alan. Alan is
I
amazing.
remember him putting out videos
Combat
of just
Biz.
like, hey, come down. Like
The day
you know.
he retired from the UFC, I was literally standing next to him when he texted that he was retiring. It was on ESPN within 5 minutes. I was right next to him when he did
Really?
it. Yeah. Alan's been a great friend. I would not be the level when I first opened my school. So I was a traditional martial art guy. I worked for traditional martial art schools, and I stopped, went to college, became a teacher. And then eventually I opened my own school, and I went to jiu-jitsu. I wanted nothing to do with traditional martial arts. And so, because I fell in love with jiu-jitsu and MMA. And so, long story short, I needed to learn how to advertise to those demographics. I learned a lot, met some great people. Charlie Vench was part of those people in that group. Started to meet some different people, but I need to go further. And right before COVID, I met Chris Rodriguez. I found her on a YouTube video. She was doing kid drills for free for Rob Kahn back in the day. And she had a whole 20 kids on a little mat, small
Charlie
mat.
was in on that program, right? BJJ for kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard
yeah.
such good things about it.
So basically, she was just playing around, and there's like socks on a kid's 1 foot, and so basically, it's a chaotic mat with like 30 kids, and they're all tackling each other, trying to rip off a sock. And if your sock was still on, the last one standing was the winner of that game. And I was like, that is badass. I love that game. I tried it my next time, my next kid class I taught, and it was a hit, man. I was buying socks at Walmart, black ones, so they would take them home, But after that, I was like, who is this girl? And I met her at another industry event, and we just clicked off and headed off. And she started to open up her own. It was called Jiu-Jitsu A-Team, which is her mastermind group that she's learned for the years. And she was in Tampa. She was friends. I'm friends with a lot of the Rob Kahn guys up in Tampa. And so I was like, you know what? Let me jump in. And Charlie jumped in from a prior group. I knew him from the Rufus Sport days when I used to kickbox with Duke Rufus. And I was like, from some events we've done. And we jumped in, and it was a small group of 12 people. And every one of those schools that she had an impact on, it was just us. This was before Maya. And we just grew. All our schools grew.
I've heard this story from like a good handful of people about working with her groups or working with the because it's like the Rob Con clique. It's like 5 or 6 of his black belts, and all of their gyms are just gangbusters.
For sure. Yeah. And I think they're all great gyms, but Chris Rodriguez, it's another level. It's even beyond some
so
of
like
those
we're
gyms.
talking about like Matt Arroyo's in that mix too, right? Matt?
He's part of the group. Yeah, Matt's great people, man.
Gracie Pack was
Chris
Chris's
Rodriguez.
gym that
She sold it. Yep.
You guys, the Grounds.
Yep.
Gracie Tampa North, Gracie Tampa South, Gracie Tampa.
Gracie the Apollos?
They're not part of it. The original A-Team was a small group that was part of the Gracie Tampa network. Robbie D. Matt Arroyo, myself. We weren't. I wasn't a Rob Con guy. We're Carlson Gracie team, but definitely in that network. That was that core group. And there's some other people from New York. Joe Lazan. Joe Lazan, UFC player, is part of it. It was cool to hang out with him and do these training events. He's a savage, man. And then, so that's that small group. Eventually, she was doing so much. Chris blew up so much that she disbanded the group. We still have the group. They're in together. Then she's like, everything we do here, it's Maya Systems. So why don't you jump on Maya? And that was in 2019, 2020, right after COVID. And so we jumped in, and then she became a full-time consultant. But her other stuff, her gym, everything she sold, she's getting so big with the ad agency and all that stuff. GoPro agency, give a little shout out. We're one of her first 5 clients in that.
You're a GoPro client, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you use it, if you do it right, you also have to do work too. It's not like a plug and forget. You have to do your own social media. You have to do other things, which we are good at. But long story short, we've got to see her rise and be part of that process. And when you're with people, like you said, you want to surround yourself with, there's no reason not to evolve and rise with them because they're doing such great things. Yeah. So when you look at her do all these great things, you're like, damn, what am I doing? Yeah. What am I doing in my business? Why am I not that goal-oriented? Why am I not reading a business book? Why am I not showing up to that event? And so it's infectious.
Who are we comparing ourselves? Because I compare myself to Chris, and I just get fucking depressed.
No, I get motivated as hell, bro, because I've seen her rise. I've seen her as a school owner with 300 members. Now we've maxed that already, and I've seen her rise as a consultant, and she's leveled up herself. Yeah. And watching this last 5 years, dude, is amazing. Like that's some juice that I want, bro.
See, like I don't look at it as like I'll never get there. I look at it as if I just had like 25% of what she has, or like.
Yeah,
there's just a tremendous.
I look at him like, okay, like I don't have the ability to go to sleep at 9:30 and wake up at 3. Like I'm teaching until 9. I'm cleaning until 9:30. I'm walking in the door at 10. I'm getting out the shower at 10:30. Walking the dog. Blah blah blah. Like how I've started time blocking my mornings mostly for like the Maya webinars.
Did you say time blocking? No, Chris Rodriguez, baby.
Yeah, but like not even.
But
like,
you would never
talking,
doing
like,
that though.
Literally
that little
2 hours. Yeah. Like this is the webinar. This is the GoPro mastermind. Yeah. This is when my wife and I kind of workshop it. Yeah. And like
I can help you with that. Look,
I'm already going to work now.
Like, what I do, I get overwhelmed too, but I'm also a full-time school teacher. This is my 20th.
You're still teaching?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you're teaching full-time?
Yeah.
Oh, I
had a sub today to be here.
You've got 500 paying members in your gym.
540, but yeah.
You shouldn't have the need. You shouldn't have the need to.
No, so for me, it's first of all, I gotta say too, we keep talking about numbers. Like numbers don't mean shit.
Yeah,
they don't mean shit. I'd rather have 200 students that I pay $500 a month. So it's really an ego thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end, it's about gross, and it's about what your opportunities you're providing for your team. That's my mindset now where I'm at. Not where you're at. You're gonna be there though. That's what's so cool about Maya. You keep going to these events. You keep showing up and doing the little changes in your lifestyle, a little bit mentality change. Well, maybe I was wrong. Let me try this. And then you'll see the growth right away. And you're like, damn, why did I do that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So what are we questioning here? I'm sorry, got off task there. ADHD is real, folks.
So, like, Brian, you're seeing this from the inside.
Yeah.
He was raised in it.
Yeah, I'm saying you're raised in it.
He was raised in the darkness. Yeah.
I mean, like, do you aspire to own a gym one day? Is it something that you want to do?
So,
listen to
no,
this.
actually. Yeah. So, funny enough.
Or what do you do?
I get that question a lot, actually, because they're like, well, you know all the stuff. You know the system. Why not open your own gym? And the answer is actually really simple, is because as a team, we're better.
Yeah.
Why not run multiple locations together, build? Sure. Owning a gym is about an ego.
Yeah.
No offense. But it is.
No,
like,
on a certain level, you barely get through the door. No, I'm just kidding.
On a certain level, it is.
Yeah. So
no, yeah. I mean,
got into it,
but isn't
grooming is real? By
anybody
the way,
that
Brian, I've been grooming since 11. You see how that answer? He doesn't want to own his own. Work for me forever. So I'm just letting you know.
That's the number one bummer.
Yeah.
Like my hope. Yeah. I've said this before. My hope would be that, like, as my guys finish their careers, get their black belts, if this is what they want to do, that I'll be able to help them and thusly create my own network, complete
for sure.
affiliations,
So
etc.
I wanted to buy.
But
like,
I don't want
people
them to leave. I want them to.
Yes.
I want to.
This is every school owner's nightmare.
Can I jump in on that?
Yes.
Actually?
Yeah,
You said when they finish their careers, I want them to buy in. He's making us have careers with him.
I meant competitive careers.
Yo, that was huge right there, by the way. Don't glance over that, you podcast listeners.
But no, for real, he's giving us careers. I have health insurance. I make more money than I did when I was a school teacher. I taught.
Oh, you were a teacher as well?
Yeah, I taught high school English for 5 years.
Did you guys teach together? Were you in the same?
Different schools.
Okay.
He helped me get my job though, but
I knew people.
but yeah, I taught English for 5 years, and I make more as a martial artist. I have health insurance.
You know that's unheard of, right?
Yeah,
You know that.
100%. But he's giving us a career.
Yeah,
And there's a career path to it too. It's not just this is where you end.
So when
most people think about owning a gym or coaching like, I'm not going to make a lot of money, but this is my passion.
Yes.
And then if it starts to take off, then I think you kind of you're like, oh, how do I double down?
So most school owners,
maybe
like,
if I had some help, or
if you open a school to make any kind of profit, like, okay, I want to open a school. Cool. Good luck. Okay. Do your 5 to 7 years, and you're going to learn a lot. And
most
you
gyms don't make it 3.
Yeah. And so if you get to that certain level, what is your take home after you pay your rent, your insurance, your academysafe.org?
it's only $99.
It's only $99 a year for the owner.
Cheap.
75 for
in
the
the bucket.
Taxes, the accountant, the things we don't talk about. The list goes on. As a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. As a martial arts school owner, is even bigger. And so, long story short, what is your take home? How many school owners by themselves that don't have a big staff because they're worried about paying them and losing them to opening it on the street, that limited mindset, that they're not making 6 figures. They're not even making $60,000 a year. So go ahead and open your school. It's going to take a while, but they will not make a lot of money.
My daughter works for my company.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what we make per month. We just had our second biggest month in history of the 4-year history of the company.
Nice.
And I went over, I said, this is great. I go, but just remember, and I start to go over all the, minus this, minus the health benefits, minus the cost of our CRM,
Gross first net.
minus, email, Gmail, the website, the this, the
Hey,
and
I
then
come
you
here
get
to
that
have a good time.
when she sees
okay?
the number,
not go home sad. Stop reminding me about my problem.
when she sees
Ben,
that number at the bottom, she's
next
so
year is going to be better,
surprised.
man. Watch, it's happening. It's going to happen this year.
When she sees that number or hears that number, she's just like, wow, that was quick. Like,
Yeah.
You start to,
Life's
it's like,
real. Inflation's real.
You have a big, hey, more money. You were quoting DMX, I'll quote Big Papa, right? More money, more problems.
Yes,
the more
Big
money you make, there's a
Papa.
lot more expenses that go out there. A problem. I just had a guy do a chargeback today. Great client. He asked us to increase his program, saw the charge, instead of calling us, disputed it, called us afterwards and was just like, I didn't know that was going to go through automatically. He said, remember we had this conversation. He's like, oh, let me give you another card. So it's like, to wake up to that, like I'm getting ready for the podcast, and it's like, we don't get chargebacks. That's the second chargeback I had in 4 years. The first one was we got scammed, and the second one was this.
It happens.
Yeah.
People are people.
But that's the thing. Is like, again, it happens everywhere. I'm sure that you've probably dealt with a chargeback or two in your life. But it's just like, again, we all have the same problem. They're all business problems. But if that guy didn't, we were like, the guy is happy. He's actually adding on another business. Why did we get charged? Like he's got 2. He's just about to put his second business with us.
The number wasn't right.
The number, instead of calling us, okay, look, I'll let, not a big, hey, we got him on the phone. He's just like, I'm so sorry. I saw the number. I thought you were going to email me that invoice. And we're like, no, you're already on auto pay. So we increase it and it's just a higher auto pay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me give you another card. But again, it's just, any charge,
you get
whether it was $1 or $1,000, like the stomach is just like,
Yeah.
But I'm in such I'm in a place where it's just like, it's just part of the business and you got to deal with it.
For sure.
I'm not going to
You
let
grow
that.
a thick skin
It
as a
doesn't
business owner, no
consume.
matter
It
what
doesn't
it is.
consume. The negatives don't consume me.
No.
But it's like anywhere. Like
Turn that
there's
off.
there's just so much stuff
Focus
going
on
on.
what we can change.
But Brian, I don't know if you want to finish your thought there. You were talking about how like building with him is better than building on your own.
Well, yeah, because it's a team thing, right? Like, he builds us up. We don't have a high turnover rate for staff. I mean, we've had turnover, don't get me wrong, but we don't have a high turnover rate for staff. We haven't actually technically hired anyone new in the past 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. How many staff members do you have total? I know we have 5 or 6.
Including him is 5.
5 or 6 on the on Academy Save.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Yeah.
We don't have any parts. We have a part-time, but he's on Academy Safe as well.
Yeah.
So one part-timer.
Yeah, so with
3
we're a
full-timers
small staff
and me.
and everything. And what's cool too is a lot of schools do it where it's you're an instructor, you're the program director, you answer phones. Everyone can do everything. Like right now, we came in last night. I didn't go to the gym last night either.
Yeah,
We had a
systems
staff
work, guys.
that worked.
Systems.
Do you do
it's funny-
playbooks?
Yeah, I made playbooks. Yeah,
I'm just learning about playbooks.
They're awesome.
We're doing a course on playbooks now.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, this is common sense.
automation,
Why have
man.
I not?
Like
Is
any
Robbie
business
part
out
of-
there.
Is Robbie D'Onofrio part of any of that?
He
as well?
was in the early days with
Okay.
A-Team. He's not part of Maya.
Okay.
Yeah. So Maya has it a little bit systemized more. Mike Metzger, Mr. Silverman, those two guys were rivals in Taekwondo in Orlando. They became business partners and they blew this up.
See, that's what I like to hear. We were talking. I won't say
They're
who.
millionaires off commercial
like-
loyalty now because of that. So it's amazing to see. Good
What do,
people.
what do they say? Like people at the top don't compete with each other; they collaborate.
Yes,
Right.
they did.
You
They had
know?
billboards above each other's schools talking trash, and now they're lifelong partners.
Did they really
yeah,
do
back
that?
in the 90s, bro.
Oh, wow.
I think that's awesome.
That's like epitome of petty. I love it.
That's some Kendrick level shit talk.
So my ADHD is back right now, and I just focus because I was talking to tell you about all these things. How do you do it when I have to take the dogs out? I have to pay this bill. I have to listen to this webinar. When do you have time to do it? I go, I'm a school teacher, dude. I work 40-hour weeks with high school on a college campus, and it's
and
high
you're doing
demanding.
high school. Why do you punish yourself?
Because I like retirement. One day I don't want to work, you know. So it's 25 years in now in the state of Florida. So I've been 25-year vet teacher. And then, you know, for me, that helped me automate things and take little chunks of things. I don't have to change the world overnight, but I can take 3% or 1% better every day and then apply that to my team. And then I can see results later. Yeah. And so that's what it really is, just chunk it, you know, because I'm so busy, man. I'm at my day job. I have a wife. I have 2 dogs. I got a house I just rebuilt from Hurricane Ian getting destroyed last 2 years. Wow. I've got, you know, an 18-year-old boy who's hopefully off to West Point next year. I have a 14-year-old daughter who's getting ready for high school that's starting to like boys. So it's like, you know, I'm a busy guy too as well. But
Stocking up on ammo.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm a proud NRA card carrying member. Yeah, but at the point though, it's just, you know, small chunks, man. And then each day when you implement and you see the results or you learn from those results, you become better. And it just takes time. It's not an overnight success. You just got to grind, man.
And now, like,
and surround yourself with cool ass people.
Yep.
You know, like Brian's one of my best friends. That's why I want to come meet you because I know that struggle. I've been there, so I want you to rise with us because that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I'm thinking you guys should do a seminar.
Yeah.
For real, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You're a little closer.
Actually, the first time I heard about you was at an IKF event. I had a point sparring. My guys were in the IKF, and they went to your school for one of those events.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
my
Rich
guys.
Grindle.
Yeah, Rich has been to. We had an IKF event, so I love striking. I'm a striking guy first before jits. I came to jitsu black belt later. in
Whatever,
life.
dude.
So, just if anybody's that's listening to this, right? Just take this and insert your industry here.
Yes.
Because so much of this is valuable.
Yes, sir.
Again, I don't own a school, but I own a marketing company. We're not specific to jiu-jitsu or MMA. So what you're saying resonates with me.
Yes, sir.
I'm very, very lucky that I have my Brian is my daughter, Victoria. She does an amazing job. I can be here. And this is my favorite day of the week. This is work. This is still work.
Yes, sir.
But it's my favorite day of
Yeah.
any
We're
week,
glad to
coming
be
here, joking around, talking to everybody. But this, this came before the marketing company. So the intent of this was never to get business. It was, hey, I love talking about jiu-jitsu. It's my favorite thing to do besides doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I heard so many stories from black belts that I would just be like, man, I wish we would have recorded that. I called this guy one day and I'm like, I'm thinking about doing this podcast. It was never like money and we're going to do this. It was just like, I just want to do something cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big podcasting guy. I started to listen to Rogan maybe a little bit more after it's like the only podcast I listen to. I listen to Tiger Belly too with Bobby Lee. Sometimes he's really funny.
Nice.
But that's about it. If you know, it's that fucking
Bobby's
hilarious. He's funny. But
Sean Ryan show.
He was on Mad.
but this was never about making money. What happened was then I left the I owned my own marketing company for 8, went to work for somebody for 6, and then now I've been under this umbrella for 4 years.
Awesome.
That started 6 years ago in May.
It's passion.
So-
Passion started it.
So
when the good businesses work.
when I opened the marketing company, I said, well, why not be the presenting sponsor? And then I would say it. And then what happened was I started not getting MMA academies. I started to get people that do jiu-jitsu who own companies going, hey, could you help me? Leo Optics, we do the marketing for Leo Optics.
wow.
No, not for Leo Optics.
Oh.
For the business, the power washing business that the owner owns.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So things like that happen, and that's how it's
Network
benefited.
is your net worth.
Yes.
It benefited us in that way, and then it was just like, oh, great! I can't stop this. I get business from not that I want to, but it turned into like, hey, well, we're the presenting sponsor. I don't, and we get business from it. So now it's like it pays this dividend that was never intended when we started before I even owned this.
Our work pays off.
And everyone I met, everyone that's on the board, I met here. Everyone that's on the board of Academy Safe, I met through this.
Nice.
Every single person, they were on the show before anything happened with them. And yeah, it's just been like this amazing
Dude, keep it going,
little
Milton,
journey,
man.
man.
It's
You know,
awesome, bro.
but
We
what
need
you
you.
guys just said, like I'm doing some of those little things and automations, but for me, it's the team.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all
I
about
was
the team.
saying my daughter
Yeah.
Victoria, right now, I handle sales and she handles production. In our world, production is the delivery of the SEO, the Google ads, the website design. We did some print stuff for somebody today. We did a logo for Beach Jiu-Jitsu Foundation. We're the federation. We're doing some trade marketing and trade, and hopefully go out to do some commentating. But everything that you said are things that I'm doing for my business. So if anybody's out there listening, this isn't just about how to build, an
Martial
academy.
business,
So many of these things and doing the things that we're talking about. And look, the best thing that I've done for myself, and it's not necessarily like a coaching thing, but I belong to a BNI.
Okay.
It is a network. It's a worldwide networking group, and I go to one in Plantation, Florida, about 20 minutes away from me, and it's just like-minded business people meeting and sharing referrals.
Nice.
I learned about your
Chamber of
business.
Commerce?
No, it's like we're required to give business to each other.
Oh, no.
You have to come. You could bring in people, but it's not multi-level marketing. It's not like I bring somebody and then you get an override. We're not sharing funds or money at all.
Yeah.
But we are going to this organization and we're talking about our business.
Cool.
They do a little presentation. Everybody gets a little chance to speak. One person does a 10-minute presentation every week. Everybody else gets 1 minute to just talk about their company. Sometimes it's visitors. Sometimes they're people from other groups. And then it's just like, once we get to know each other, we say know, like, and trust. And this is for anybody that's looking to do business. If I know, like, and trust you, I'm going to give you my business.
Yeah.
I know, like, and trust you. So if I know somebody in your area and asks me, where should I go for jiu-jitsu? I'm going to say, go see Ben Stark. Let him know I sent you, right? Well, we have to do that as part of the group. Your job is to bring business and referrals. Me to refer my clients to you, my family, people that I know. I hear some guy at the supermarket saying his refrigerator went at his house. Like, oh my God, I got to get ice. My refrigerator went. Hey, I got a guy that can help you repair that. Hold on 1 second. Let me give you his info.
That's with everybody. Everybody
But that's
in life,
what I'm saying,
hey,
right?
I need a garage door guy. I
But
need a
but
AC
that
guy.
networking is the one thing. What you're talking about being in the kind of more of a coaching group. You're still networking with each other, and then
sure.
things happen.
For sure.
I go and meet with this group. We meet online three times per month, and then one in person. That's because of COVID. That's what they did with COVID. They went into this like virtual system. But the traditional system before COVID was you met every week in person.
Yeah.
You went to the same place. You had, go get breakfast. There's 20 to
Bagels
50
and coffee.
people, right? And you go and you meet. So
We've done a
it's the
couple of
way.
those.
Yeah, we have.
It's the way that I've built my business. For anybody in any industry,
Your
I
network is your
recommend it.
net worth.
yeah. And it's,
So what
it's how
about
I build the
the
business.
Maya stuff
Four
in
seats,
martial arts?
Four
Okay.
seats throughout the U.S. 2 down here, and my daughter and her fiance are in Virginia. So we have 4 seats. She's actually moving from the marketing seat to the nonprofit seat to represent us as Academy Safe, but we still have currently 4 seats in BNI. So that's how powerful it was that just about every employee that does anything with sales does it.
Yeah, so some of that network is your net worth. Like when we're talking about martial art, because a lot of people are jiu-jitsu school owners are listening to this, or they want to open their own school. At the Maya stuff, there's a couple levels. There's the core group, the entry stuff. So you can start real cheap to actually get those programs implemented to start seeing results for how to sell membership, how to introduce programs to people. Yep. But what I love about the Maya stuff and why I came over to meet Ben that day is because there are so many school owners that are barely making it. Most martial arts schools are not successful. And then there's people in that group that are the top 3% in the industry. Like no BS. Like they don't even
Mike
know
owns
numbers.
9 gyms.
Yeah.
Mike
yeah.
who?
Metzger.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a franchise like model, but they own it all and they have systems in place because they do it. What I love about this group, it's not like what they used to do, or they're only doing it with one school. They're doing it and living it now, and they've implemented money to develop wealth, and so they have $300 million in portfolio in commercial buildings right now.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. So that tells you a lot. But also, I can care less about that. What I do care about is people being able to pay their bills, be able to pay their staff. Like me, I've implemented their system since COVID. And, I have a staff now. I have benefits and insurance. 3 years ago, I was like, what? I can't pay for insurance. I don't know what that's all about.
That's what I'm saying. Like you told me at the convention, you're like, this place has turned me around completely.
Yeah, for sure.
Pre-COVID, I thought I was flying high.
Yeah.
My numbers looked really good. COVID, as much as it didn't really affect Florida, it changed how people spent money.
I lost 60% of my business in 2 months in Fort Myers, Florida. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bonita.
like- I got real lucky. I didn't lose a soul. I didn't lose a single
60%.
person.
But I had a lot of families and stuff, and we closed the door. We did the speakeasy jiu-jitsu,
When I've heard you say this a couple of times, and I know that your personality, like, you're kind of half joking, but when it comes to this one thing, I am such a glass half full type of person that when somebody's doing the glass half empty, I say something to them. And you're a lot of times, like, you're saying, this isn't a diss on you at all, but like you've said, like, oh man, but I'm not there yet, or like almost like
it's
not in a bad way, like
we're getting
like
there.
a little bit of an envious thing, like, man, I want to be that. Like, no, I'm gonna be that.
Yeah.
I'm half full. Everything is half full. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I told my daughter. I originally told my daughter when I hired her. It was my second year of the business. Again, we're in year 4. I told her, I'm giving you till I'm 55. I'm going to be 52. I said, I'm going to give you till I'm 55, and I want to retire, and I want to hand this business over to you. If you can't if it's not in the books for you to take it over, we will sell it. I'll give you a percentage, but you've helped me build, and I'm going to retire and do something else. And now, that was before Academy Safe, but now Academy Safe is what I believe my retirement. I want to run that, and I want to ride off into the sunset.
Dead stop.
No, I can't. No. I can't not work.
Yeah.
But owning a marketing company and dealing with a lot of different personalities, you're dealing with 500 different personalities, So I told that was the agreement.
200 high school
I've
kids.
changed that to 53 now. I'm at 53. I'm building this.
So she's
Either you
crushing
take
it.
it off. She's crushing it. We're crushing it. Knock on wood. I'm going to give you till I'm 53. My birthday's in June, so it's a year and like change. And I'm going to let you take it over. If you can't take it over, now she's just getting married. They're going to have kids, so I'm a little bit like, I want out at 53, so maybe I sell it. We take that money and we, I like come work for Academy Safe. We'll bring everybody into Academy Safe. But always half full. Always half full. Never an envious thought, more of like, I'm going to be there. Not like, oh, why can't
That's
I
what's
do
possible.
I just hear
It's
it
weird,
sometimes
'cause
in the way
my
that you
head-
say it.
Because in my head, that's what I mean. Because when I say yet,
Your
I'm
words,
like,
your words
like
have
I'm
power.
there,
Though.
I'm
Your
fucking- like,
words have power.
It's like I'm biting at your heels. I'm just not.
Though you're not biting at anybody's heels.
I hope not.
You're not
I don't
biting at
want to
anybody's
bite
heels.
anybody.
You're not biting at anybody's heels. They've just got there first.
In the martial art industry,
you're going to get there. You're going to be there. I'm going to do that.
It's a very competitive language.
It is.
Even though I'm not competing.
Yeah.
But I'm used to being competitive.
I feel like you say it to be humble. Like you kind of
Yeah,
your
we do.
personality.
As martial artists, we do
I
that.
also have a
I do
horrible
that.
case of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
though
you
I'm
gotta
the
get rid of that. We've talked
complete
about that,
opposite
yeah.
of an imposter.
I have the same, Ben.
Yeah.
I have the same. That's why I hate my Instagram and all that
I
stuff.
think
I
that
hate
we,
it.
yeah,
Oh, I hate
I
it.
think that we all have
Yeah.
have an element of that. I had started this podcast at Purple Belt. One of the who wants to listen to a Purple Belt talk about fucking jiu-jitsu?
I have my gym at Purple
But we
Belt.
we did this
Not
though.
a black belts, but jiu-jitsu purple
We
belt,
talked about the personalities and your life around jiu-jitsu, which is what interested me, and that's what it became.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, when you're doing an armbar, and like we never got into the technical side of it. Although we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Even we talked about having Wagner on. We talked about Wagner's like, bring my wife. I'm talking about their relationship and do you train and how does that work on the mat and who's in charge at home. Like, I'm interested in the life around it, and we have listeners that are interested in that same thing. We're not the podcast to be like, well, what do you think about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and the number of academies and Henry Gracie saying this and great, and maybe those are opinions and things like that. But like, I just like to I'm here to get to know you guys, and then I want you guys to come back on one day, and then we're going to catch up and be like, hey, remember when we had talked about that thing? How did that go? That's what this became for us. But again, like, just your words have power, and I know that you're going to be there. But remember, when you say it, you're also hearing it.
Yeah.
So it's just like the envious thought,
he's
or like
right on the spot
I'm not
where
being there. Like
gonna
everything
jump.
has to be
It's
like,
gonna
I
jump.
can't wait till I'm there. I can't wait till I'm the Chris Rodriguez from my area. I
will.
can't wait till I'm the Grounds.
I already know it.
in my area.
I feel it. Like
Yeah.
you're like so close. The biggest growth right now from 150 to 200 is one of the hardest things. Like every 100, right? Once you implement a few little things, a couple of tweaks, right, and you keep surrounding yourself, don't give up. You might not see, but stay with the course, pay the association, show the hell up, keep doing it, and then a year from now, I guarantee your school is going to be double the size.
Yeah, well, that was what I was kind of alluding to. Like, you were like, I've done this in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've gone from X to 500 plus in 3 years?
Yeah.
What'd you say? You had to upgrade 2 buildings or 1 building?
2 buildings. My first building, we had 3,000 square feet. And then I had an opportunity to get another spot. So it was about 5,000 square feet. Now we're at an 8,000 foot facility.
And that
under
3 years
Publix.
is nothing.
Yeah.
3 years is nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
flies.
You know,
But you're going to do it in 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you've already made
you're
the
around the
steps.
best people.
I mean, you're, and that's the biggest thing because you go to these conventions and you hear so many people be like, "Oh man, I want that. I want
you go
that.
to
I want
you go
that."
to this stuff?
Yeah,
You go to
he
stuff?
brings that
I bring
for
all
you.
my
That's
team.
awesome.
That's what we level up
and
together.
You hear everyone saying like, "Oh, I want this," but then they go back and they don't implement. But you literally started the conversation with, "We're doing this weekend," which is implementation.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
It,
most
it
people
took
don't
me.
implement.
It took me 3
They're
months.
assholes. You
to
ask questions,
even, like,
but you're an asshole
Yeah.
about it. You know
get
what I'm
to the point
saying?
where, like,
You don't implement.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of business.
Already there, you're just in your mind, but you're just taking the physical steps to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, you know, so I'm a traditional martial artist, Taekwondo black belt back in the 90s. You know, I loved Taekwondo back then. I don't like it now. But long story short, there's some great schools out there.
Why don't you like it now?
We don't need to go there on this podcast.
It's the Taekwondo Dummies podcast.
when I see like schools that are, you know, the staff and they're cool, they're nice people, but then they're doing more gross than you and they're doing big events more than you. I'm like, I look at my team, I'm like, guys, those people are doing this. Why aren't we?
Yep.
And then you realize we can. And then it's a positive mindset, a growth mindset change.
Do you know? I'm just going to add to kind of what a little bit to what he's saying, but from before. For you, I want you to, when you're thinking about how you want to move up, know that there's some kid, some teenager, some student, somebody in your area, somebody that follows you that's going, man, I wish I could be like Ben.
Oh, for sure.
There's somebody right now.
dude.
There is absolutely
For
somebody
sure.
going, man, I can't wait to have X amount of students in my school. Man, I can't wait to do those videos and do the instructional
want a
videos.
school.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like we're looking at people like I do. I watch Chris's stuff. I'm very much like taking in this. I don't own an academy, but I translate that stuff into for myself. But
it's good
there
business.
is somebody, the way that we look, myself included, look at people that are doing what I do, but at a higher level. Again, I'm never looking at them like envious. I'm like, how do I get there? What am I doing? I'm going to follow those steps. I'm going to do
that's what
these
you're
things.
doing. Yeah.
You're doing those things, but when you're thinking a little bit, talking about the imposter syndrome is where I was kind of going before. Is we all have an element of that. When it creeps in, I kick it the fuck out of my head quickly.
That's a black belt mentality.
Yeah.
And just know, when you're thinking that somebody is out there, there's some kid, there's some young person, there's one of your students who you'll never know is going, man, I can't wait to own my own gym like Ben. I can't wait to go to Ben and say, how do I get into the American Top Team system? Or, hey, can I be an affiliate? Like, that's all going to happen. That's in your future if you keep on going the way you are. So when you're thinking imposter syndrome, you are somebody is feeling imposter syndrome because they're not like you yet.
I think we all have that though.
Like,
you know, when you first
like
get
I
your blue
want you
belt,
to think that,
you know,
think
like,
that,
shit,
like
I'm
there's
a blue
somebody
belt.
that's looking at me enviously like this. And that's a good thing, right? There's somebody that wants to be like you, just like we
Good point,
might
Marlon.
want to be like somebody else. You know?
That's a great point. It really is. We felt in jiu-jitsu, the ranks, you know, blue belt. When I got my purple belt, oh damn, this is a tough belt to wear, you know. And then at black belt, that even got worse. Now there's stripes going on every few years, like every 3 years. Hey, you get another stripe.
Brown was like that.
ugh.
Brown, I was just like, yeah, I don't really want
Brown,
this
I
one.
got like,
It's like,
Brown, I got like,
I knew the responsibility that was going to come with it. People were going to like start rolling harder. People were going to look at you for more.
yeah.
And that was the one that made me the most nervous. But then it went away pretty
Then
quickly.
you own an academy. And
I
everyone
got-
wants to kill you.
I got nervous at Browns when I started
I'm a
coaching
middle-aged white man.
internationally. So like I'm flying to Thailand. I've been brought in to coach.
Yeah.
I can't. No one can score a point on me. But in reality, I haven't had a gi on for the last 7 years until 6 months ago because I was fighting MMA.
Yeah.
And it was only 6 months ago. They're like, hey, you're getting a brown belt. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to dedicate the next 6 months to the gi. Make sure, because I know where I'm going. I'm already coaching, but I have this offer. We're working out visas. I'm like, I'm going to a primarily gi school. Like I got to sharpen my shit up. And so like then next thing I know, I'm in Thailand, I'm in Germany, I'm in Finland, I'm in England. And I'm
Amazing.
like, oh God, I got to deal with Vikings. Like,
I know for me, like even at Black Belt, I'm in a school where they, like last night, 3 different coaches show a variation of, we were doing guard sweeps. You're in my guard, I'm going to sweep you. Just everybody has something that they
the guard
like.
is no real, bro.
And
Sushi.
and we all teach something, and I love it, and I feel I'm very humbled that I'm one of the newer students there, and I'm only a black belt for a year, and they're having me teach. And sometimes somebody shows something, I'm like, man, I've just never seen it done that way, and I'm going to learn it that way. And I teach, hey, I got a variation of that. I'd love to show it. But they add like, hey, anybody got something? Come here. Yeah. So I'm in a school where there are a lot of black belts, and there are a lot of black belts sharing knowledge, and it's a very kind of like open door policy with that, like everybody can share. So I really, really enjoy and like that. And it's where I kind of like, that feeds my soul, that when I can share knowledge, but I'm also absorbing. And I haven't always been the best absorber of information. You know, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I know you can do it that way, but I'm fat and I can't, and I'm not flexible, so I'm going to do it
those guys.
I'm going to do it the fat guy way. And
Everybody
coach, I
has
can't do that. And he comes over, he grabs my leg, and he goes, "Just put it here. Watch, you could do it." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I can do that." But I've been the guy that's pushed back, and now I'm like in a position where I'm coaching. I didn't know I was going to go there and help coach, and I fucking love it. It feeds my
Influencing
soul.
people is a gift. People often, as a martial art, as an instructor, as a teacher for 25 years, if I have a captive audience and they want to hear from me, it's an amazing honor, and you have to do your best to influence them and motivate them. And to me, that's awesome. So you're just getting a taste of that teacher life, bro.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's funny because I actually taught at white and blue belt.
Nice.
Because I was my coach's first student. I was an adult. I was 41 as a white belt. So immediately I kind of took to it. I knew how to run a business. I had to help him. He was actually a DHS officer, like he was internal affairs for the Department of Homeland Security.
Wow.
So sometimes he had to do stakeouts and they had to go put in cameras in some, an office. And he'd be like, "Dude, I'm on a stake. I can't go anywhere. I need you to open the school." I had the key. I'd go in. I'm a white belt doing the classes, but I was a white belt who trained 2 hours a day for 6 days a week with him.
Wow.
And I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, give me more. And so I learned a lot quickly. So I was able to do it. So I lost that for like 8 years at my second school where I was it was just like, no one master here, nobody. Oh, no, if you opened your mouth, you'd be like, "Hey, whoa, save it for Facebook." If he saw two people, they saw two people, like if you were like took a student off as like a purple belt and like you were showing a white belt to
putting
move,
the cult in culture.
he would be like, he would come over to you and be like, he would, no, do it like this. Or he'd be like, "Well, no, I wouldn't do that from there. I would do this whole," like if somebody came to me and asked me, "How do you do this move?" and I just showing them that move, he'd be like, "No, you don't want to do that. You want to do this version of a move that I do if you're in that position," instead of like, but he wants to know
move.
this. Yeah, it was very, it was very culty and very,
I bet he was rich.
that's, all right, listen, we gotta wrap it up before Christian throws us out.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, where you going? I need my sound effects guy. My sound effects. So we at the end of every episode we do like the most asked questions. We put them just at the end. We'll do like a little bit of a speed round. We'll ask both of you these questions. We call this
The Drill Down.
We spare no expense here at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. All right, so I'm gonna ask both. We'll go quick on this because we got to get out of here. But
Yes, sir.
gi or no gi preference?
Nogi.
Nogi.
Favorite takedown? Oh no, excuse me. Takedown or pull guard?
Takedown.
Takedown.
Okay, I'm a pull guard.
Me?
Pull guard. You takedown. Favorite submission?
Guillotine.
Triangle.
Music during rolling? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course.
What's your go-to?
So anything that has a beat, because I'm from Gen X, man. I got all walks of life.
How old are you?
I'm I can't even know how old I was. 47 this year. 47.
Okay,
this
so
year.
you're like a 90s.
Oh yeah.
He's
like,
graduating
near, far, wherever you are.
How about you?
I actually like reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chill.
Do you they can choose, the coach can choose the music in the school?
Yeah,
like
we have a huge sound system. We put in different zones even.
Okay.
It's dope.
What would you be doing if you hadn't found martial arts? I'm assuming not only not only teaching, but is there something else that you were passionate about growing up?
I've always been an educator, teach, like to share.
Yeah.
My dad talks like me. He's like that old man that's like, "Hey, son, let me tell you about the reasons why this works," and blah, 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 2 hours later. So I always be a teacher,
Brian?
Teaching and literature.
Yeah. Do you think, were you passionate about it though? Or
I was super passionate about especially literature. I studied literature and film when I was in college.
what made you leave when you said you were a teacher for a while? And
Yeah, honestly, not to get too political about it, but the school system just isn't great anymore.
my daughter was a coach. My daughter was a teacher, and so was her fiance, and they both left. They're like, it sucks. Kids are horrible. The parents are worse.
It got bad.
Phones fuck everything up.
COVID really messed everything
I'll just put it this way. I love teaching during the day. I still do it. 25 years in, but I can't wait to go to my MMA class, jiu-jitsu class, to choke people at the end of that day.
I wonder why.
For real. It's a true story, though. Yeah.
Okay, so last question.
Mm-hmm.
The most important question that we can ask.
Oh, boy.
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
That's a no.
All right, so
Remember, you own a gym.
yeah,
Yeah.
I encourage our students to wash them because science is a thing and bacteria is gross. But me personally, I have 4 black belts I whip out of the rotation, and they hardly ever get washed.
Okay, Brian.
As a white belt, I did not wash it much, but now as I've gone through the ranks, yes, wash the
Yes.
belt.
Okay. So my trick, I've always washed my belt. I've always probably had 2 belts at almost every rank, so it was just like switch them out. But I always just threw one in the wash and then the other one was in the bag. Now I use either Lysol or we had a sponsor that Neutral Zone Clean.
Yeah.
They had a spray, so I literally just hang it.
Boom.
I even have a bag that I put my gi in.
Yeah.
It's called it's called a stinky bag, I think it was called. They kind of sent us some free stuff. I put it in this bag, and it's meant to like throw the whole bag in the wash, and then it washes in the bag.
Yeah.
But I take it out, so I spray the belt and that stinky bag.
You wash the powders out of that, bro.
I spray it with Lysol or use the Neutral Zone Clean.
This guy, he never going to be the world champion. He's going to wash your belt. His jiu-jitsu going to go away.
It sounds like Hanato. Shout out to Hanato accent.
You do it great. You do it great.
Yeah. I met Hanato.
I was getting a bunch of shit on that Toledo Allen Carr clip.
Did you?
Because I pulled back. I was like, oh, I forgot there's a Brazilian girl right next to me. So I was like, oh.
No, she loves it. She loved it. She loved it. She was cool.
Awesome.
Nothing else for me to say there on belts.
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile is seen by more potential customers. Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
I've been training jiu-jitsu for 4 years. In 4 years, I got hurt 6 times. I received stem cell injections in my wrists, elbows, shoulders, both knees, and I got stem cells recently injected in my left index finger. After a week and a half, I was right back at it, going the way I like to go at it. At Lehigh Biogenics, they're friendly, they're patient, they answer all the questions you might have. Educate yourself. Call Lehigh, ask about stem cells, and see where it takes you.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Wash your belt, you stinky bastards. All right, shout out to BioPro, bioproteintech.com. Get 30% off with code JJD. They have these kits here. I take these every single day. I take the BioPro Plus at night before I go to bed, and and I take the BioPro every single morning. Put it under the tongue, 90 seconds. You swallow it, you're good. Again, $30 off with code JJD. The BJJ box as well. That I probably have a box sitting in my mailbox. They went quarterly. All right, so if you sign up, it is quarterly now. You can check them out at the bjjbox.com. You get like 6 or 7.
Those have been around
cool
for a
little
while
things.
now, haven't they?
Been around for a while. I think he bought I think the owner now, Tony, bought the company from somebody else, if I'm not mistaken.
They're on
He
since
kept
I was
it running.
like 2008. Or,
You can get 20% off your first box with code JJD20. And let's go around the horn real quick. Go ahead and give them a rundown of, give them your socials and all that stuff. Where can they find you?
I want to try something new. Go to my Instagram, go to MMA Coach Ben on Instagram, and look at any of my videos. Just leave me some comments. Just put Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. Just tag you. Let me know that you found me from here. Because I really do need interaction.
Fucking pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, as a listener.
I put out a lot of stuff.
I'm going to go to all my clients' Instagrams and comment Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, Jiu-Jitsu Dummies.
Do it. Because at the end of the day, algorithm-wise, the more words written under your post, the better you're going to do. Yeah. So, I mean, if I can make it happen, make it happen. Gotcha. And, of course, go to Fight Tape US on Instagram. Get yourself some fight rap. Fight Tape is in the mail, but it is coming, and we are taking over
Write it down, Brian.
The fight business.
Brian, do you want anybody following you, or do you want to hide out?
Yeah, no, people can follow me. My Instagram tag is Coach BTGMMA.
And I know you're doing a lot of the stuff. I've seen your face on a lot of the Instagram stuff, the posts that I'm seeing for the school, right?
Yes.
You do a real good
job. We do a weekly show every week, yeah. Monday stuff, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah.
Go ahead and give them tell them where you are.
I'm at,
and then give them the IGs.
So we're on every platform, I think pretty much. Instagram, YouTube. Our YouTube is the worst. YouTube is evil. We also have
You're not evil, YouTube. I'm going to be advertising the show.
Sorry.
I love you so much.
Don't hold back on pushing me out in front of the audience, but
Instagram,
go ahead.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We have a personal Facebook page. It's Coach Fried. So Coach F-R-Y-E-D. Coach Fried is my hashtag. We've been developing this year. We started this last fall. And it's starting to get some momentum now.
We were talking about all that marijuana stuff earlier, and now I'm going, Coach Fried, is there a connection here?
Not at all, guys. My mom she was liberal as hell. She was a welder for 32 years, so she smoked weed around me as a kid. Teamsters, bikers around my house growing up. But I do not partake. I'm a bourbon guy and a Cuban cigar guy. Those are my vices.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, thank you guys so much for being here. I mean, I know that probably flew by. That was an hour and
for sure.
46.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
flew by.
It's an honor
so
to be
I'm going
here,
to
guys.
tell
Thank
you.
you.
I very much enjoyed this, but I know that we could probably go another few hours. So please come back again. You tell me when you're going to be down this way.
Yeah, sure.
When you want to come down, you got something going on.
Yeah.
You know, give it like a week. We record today. We put it out the next week. So if you got something to promote, like it'll like give us a couple of weeks out. I'll get you on the schedule and we'll make it happen.
For sure.
Can
I
Coach
say-
Ben, thank you as always. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, Milton, putting these things together in these times to communicate, it's an honor, man. So thank you so much. Keep moving forward with this Academy Safe stuff.
Yes.
I've been in martial arts a long time, and I'm also a school teacher, community guy. What you're doing for a community is much needed, and I say thank you personally in front of everybody here that keep the course, man. Don't let me deter you. And if we can help spread the word, 100% behind it, because we need to fix the industry.
Yeah,
and
man.
setting standards like this is just amazing. So I'm 100% behind you, bro.
I'm going to be looking for a video from you that shows the sticker on the door and you talking about it.
I will give you the full tour. I got you.
You should do a tour the way you do it. Maybe like cut it down, or like you can make it go a little faster. But love to see the tour. And
you
when
can
you
give the
fit in
school
Academy
owners to
Safe.
help sell that to the program. Once it becomes Academy Safe,
look,
here's how you use it in your sales pitch.
We haven't spent any money on advertising.
Perfect.
Right? Everything has been on Instagram, on social, without paying. Just posting, sharing, adding to stories. McDojo Life is involved. He's got a big presence.
I met Rob.
Anytime
He's cool. Yeah.
anytime he puts out a video or gives us, we get a couple of coaches sign up that night. So it's happened in that organic way. We're very lucky to have Rob and all of the board members. But man, like we haven't even gotten to a place where we've advertised. Once we start advertising it and being like, hey, come sign up, and we're targeting people, then it's going to really change the game.
At the end of the day, it's an easy sale.
Yeah.
You see it and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's common sense.
Yeah. We probably have, there are about 5 academies that are like right at the end of about getting accredited. Like it's just they're missing 1 or 2 things, or they got to get the CPR
You
course.
see how
and
he's
have the
staring at
materials,
me?
so-
He's staring right
Oh,
at me.
yeah. March 22nd, come down for the CPR First Aid AED.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you,
watching and
guys.
listening. You can
Thank
check
you.
us out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. My personal IG is Uncle Milty BJJ. As always, thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, Jiu-Jitsu.
Peace.
We'll